Good evening and a very warm welcome to the National Speedway Stadium here in Manchester. It's a lovely evening, it is chilly, but it's an important time of the season. It is playoffs between the defending champions, the Belle Vue Aces, and the table toppers, the Ipswich Witches. As always, in the company of Calvin Tate and Scott Nichols. Business end of the season, Calvin, an important few weeks ahead.
Absolutely, an exciting time of the year, of course. We've built up to this particular point. 2 semi-finals in the next couple of weeks and, of course, the grand final to follow up shortly afterwards. And we can look at what we're expecting to see over the next couple of weeks here. This evening, of course, we've got the champions up against the Ipswich Witches, the reverse fixture on Thursday night at Vauxhall, and then Leicester a week today against the Sheffield Tigers, and the Sheffield Tigers against the Leicester Lions on the 18th of September. That's what we have in the next couple of weeks. Exciting.
Well, it is very exciting. Scotty, let's start with the Belle Vue Aces then. They are the defending champions. They've got 2 of the best riders in the world. That was a big moment last year. They have got a young team around Brady, Kurtz and Dan Bewley, and there is a lot of pressure on Mark Clement.
There's a lot of pressure on all of them, but the 2 you just highlighted there, obviously Brady Kurtz chasing for a world title, Dan Bewley going for that bronze medal. You know, they can lead by example, and that can inspire the younger ones, but it's also it's really crucial now that all the teams come together as a unit and share all the information and work as a team.
Yeah.
Because everything up to now is out the window. It starts now. This is the journey to get to that final. And so some of the boys in the team, even though they're young and they've been there, they've experienced it all before, but it's a hard thing to explain. It's something definitely changes within you when you get to this stage.
It really does it, Cal?
Yeah,
everyone.
as you say, it's the business end of the season. It's time to step up, and whether you're young, old, you've still got to find it within you to do the business. You mustn't allow the occasion to overwhelm you. You've got to be inspired by it if you can.
Yeah. Well, Ipswich Witches have 2 inspired riders in Jason Doyle and Emil Sayfutdinov. They are 2 of the best in World Speedway. And Ipswich Witches were hit hard by losing first Jason Doyle at Kings Lynn at the Adrian Flux Arena, and then this horrendous accident. I still find it hard to watch with Emil Sayfutdinov and Hamilton.
Yeah, but Sayfutdinov won. Well, both the crashes were actually really quite extreme, and both riders suffered serious injury. Obviously, Jason Doyle missed the large part of the season. He was leading the World Championship at the time. He really was flying, so a big blow. And considering they got to the very last race in the semi-final, and of course the guest that particular evening was Tom Brennan. Brennan now, of course, in the heart of the Ipswich Witches, and is back here at a club that he formerly rode for. So Brennan very much involved in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Well, the cut-off for the regular season was last week, and this is how the Premiership standings ended up. It is Ipswich Witches who topped the table. Now, Sheffield Tigers did beat Ipswich at Vauxhall last week, so they went into second, Leicester Lions in third, and Belle Vue Aces round out that top 4. So, Cal, let's now pay closer attention to the 2 teams tonight, looking at the 1 to 7, as Scotty said, so important now that it's a team effort, a real unit. Let's start with the visitors.
Yeah, they've changed the racing order. Dan Thompson has come out of the reserve berth, but they've now got Emil Sayfutdinov at number 1, who's ridden beautifully for the last 3 seasons back in the British League. Danny King at number 2, the captain. We've got Jason Doyle at number 3, so a change there. Dan Thompson at 4, as I said. Tom Brennan will ride at number 5. Adam Ellis slipping there. Former British champion down at number 6. And, of course, Jason Edwards, who's done a fine job in recent weeks, down at number 7. My man to watch is Dan Thompson. He had a terrific meeting here last month. Actually beat Brady Kurtz, which was quite a feather in his cap. So we'll keep an eye out for Dan this evening. Riding at number 4, he has quite a responsibility tonight.
And Adam Ellis at reserve, could that be a bit of a trump card?
Yes, it could be. Yeah, he can go around here. He has a knee injury, but he says on the bigger tracks it's not a problem.
OK, then the home side. We know that there's 2 particular riders that are pretty handy.
Reasonably good, yeah. Absolutely. The Belle Vue Aces, they are the champions, and they are desperately trying to retain it. Brady Kurtz, their captain, has had such a wonderful season. Norick, Blödorn, the new Brady German champion, riding at number 2. Then we've got Jaimon Lidsey at number 3. He was missing last month. Zach Cook, who rode well last month. He's at number 4. Dan Bewley always rides well here. Tate Zischke and Jake Mulford down at number 6 and 7. And Jaimon Lidsey will be my man to watch. He was missing last time and possibly the reason they didn't quite win here. It was a very close meeting, of course. It went down to a superheat. But Lidsey, the Australian, is very good. And if he's got his trapping hand on tonight, then he could be the difference for the champions here this evening.
Calv, thank you.
You're
Enjoy
welcome.
the night.
I shall try to.
Come out all guns blazing.
Yeah, no worry. Ready
Calv,
to go.
thank you. Let's hear from the managers now and get their thoughts ahead of tonight's playoff fixture.
Ritchie, Hawkins, playoff time now. A little bit of a shuffle around in the team. Has that had any impact?
Yeah, we obviously had to make changes with Emil going to 1 and Adam to reserve. So, yes, it might do, but it could be a trump card with Adam at reserve. He's obviously very experienced and shouldn't really be a reserve. So, and he has, he's actually put his average up this year and still managed to drop down. So, hopefully, it'll be a trump card for us.
And obviously, you've been in this position a few times, been exceptionally unlucky. Could this year be the year?
We hope so. Not going to lie, really. We obviously started the season flying, and then it's been tough, really, since the injuries and stuff. But we had a good run of results until last week, and the boys were a bit too relaxed. So everyone seems very focused again tonight. And, yeah, we've done well around here. So I believe in the team, and if they're focused and they want it enough, then, yeah, then we can win anyway.
Mark Lemon, that's where it all starts now. How much of a lead do you want to take away from tonight?
Obviously, as big as lead as we possibly can, or humanly possibly are. You know, like, should I say 20 points? You know, like I mean that sort of wholeheartedly, really. Like, you know, we know how good Ipswich are around Vauxhall. I mean, okay, we watched Sheffield, you know, get the better of them on Thursday. It means that they're probably going to come back fighting a bit harder. Which has had the edge on us all year, so we need to take a pretty good lead down there. First and foremost, we've got to win here tonight. That's the key. But yeah, but realistically, you know, you want a minimum of 12 points probably.
I was going to say, but does that win by Sheffield kind of give you that glimmer of hope?
I don't think so. I think in Speedway, in sport, you know, these things happen from time to time. You know, I don't know what happened down there, but obviously Sheffield, you know, got the bit between their teeth, and you know, they're a quality team. I think Leicester are a quality team. So there's 4, you know, very honourable teams here in the Premiership playoffs, and we know what it's about. So we will just more or less focus on our processes.
Okay, thank you.
There is a good crowd in here this evening. Just a moment ago I was in the foyer, and there's a real sense of anticipation. All the Belle Vue Aces fans want their team to go well tonight because, as Mark Lemon said, Vauxhall is a difficult place to go to, and the Witches, they ride that place, their own track, very, very well indeed. Okay, it is time for the coin toss. And Scotty, this is not the time for paper, scissors, rock.
Thanks, Abby. Indeed, it is coin toss time, and in the past has proved pivotal. Gate choice and heat 1. Before we get to that, I'm going to have a chat with captain from the home team, Brady Kurtz. Brady, this is where it all starts now. Everything's gone out the window. Does anything change coming in tonight from the team's perspective?
We're going to have to step it up. That's what's going to need to change. I think we've been not terrible, but a little bit average this year, so we're definitely going to have to find something special today. Ipswich are tough customers. We've had a few battles with them here this year, so yeah, we're definitely going to have to dig deep and find something a little bit extra.
You boys as a team have had experience of being in the finals, especially you and Dan. You're in sensational form, so becoming a unit obviously is really important right now.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to need the whole 1 to 7. That's definitely what's going to be required, and yeah, that's all there is to it, really.
Okay, mate, thank you. Danny, it's been a tough run for you guys in the past, been hit by injuries, but you've been in sensational form all season. You finished top of the league. Does that mean anything to the team, having that #1 spot coming into this?
I mean, it's nice, obviously, but it starts fresh now, doesn't it? It's a big meeting, as everyone knows. We've travelled well here this year, but it's so important tonight that we continue that form. Okay, it is, and is Ritchie kind of eyed a kind of deficit that you want to come away with? No, we haven't really spoke about that. Just go and do our thing. Obviously, the goal is to win, so we'll see how we go. Okay, well, let's do the coin toss. And as it is the semi-finals, I thought it was only appropriate. I actually had my own coin for it so we can have no confusion. So, Danny, just grab my coin. I'm going to get you to call while it's in the air, mate. I'm just going to flip the coin. If you can call while it's in the air. Heads. Danny calls heads, and indeed you can see it has come down heads. So, Danny, it's going to be heat 1 or heat 15? We'll take heat 1 and we'll go 1 and 3.
Okay, mate, thank you. Go well.
Mr. Nichols, full of surprises. Let's meet tonight's riders then, and joining Kelvin Tatum in the commentary boxes, Ollie Allen. Over to you guys.
Thanks very much, Abby. Yeah, I like that with the coin toss. Very, very good indeed. That's given us a bit of a chuckle up here in the commentary box. Now, the visitors tonight, Jason Edwards, who came in pretty much midway through the season with the injury to Jordan Jenkins, and has done a pretty good job, and he has retained his place. He rides at number 7 for the Ipswich Witches here this evening.
Number 6 for the Ipswich Witches, we've got Adam Ellis. Certainly could be a trump card for them at reserve. Former British champion here at this track, so he certainly knows the fastest way around this track.
He does indeed. Looking forward to seeing Adam. He has a knee injury, but he says on the bigger tracks he hasn't had too much of a problem. Next man out is Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan, there's been a change in the order of the top 5 for the Ipswich Witches. He has been riding at number 3 for a large period of time, but he will ride at number 5 tonight, a responsible position. Of course, he'll be about in heat number 13, and he rode for the Ipswich Witches in the semi-finals last year as well.
Yeah, your rider to watch at number 4, Dan Thompson, 21-year-old British rider, has had an exceptional season, which has seen him move up from reserve into the main body of the team, and yeah, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders tonight.
Yeah, and young Dan is, as you say, going along nicely. Jason Doyle, of course, has had his injury problems this year, but he is a tough customer and has battled back and is riding well, actually, at this business end of the season. Looking forward to seeing the former world champion fly around the National Speedway Stadium tonight.
And number 2 for Ipswich, we've got Danny King, former British champion, another one who's won it at this track here at Belle Vue, so he knows the fastest way around. Certainly a very strong rider to have at number 2 here. Indeed
he is. Plenty of experience for the captain of the Ipswich Witches, Danny King. And now the man that really has set the British scene alight in the last 3 seasons, Emil Sayfutdinov. It really has been a privilege to see Emil riding for the Ipswich Witches in the last 3 seasons. He leads the way. He's the number 1 for the visitors. And there's no doubt that he'll be looking for a big performance tonight. Let's have a look at the home team, the reigning champions. And first up is young Jake Mulford. Of course, he's a keen long track rider as well. A big night for young Jake.
Yeah, certainly is. And number 6, we've got Tate Zischke, the sort of ever enthusiastic young Australian rider. It's his 2nd season with the Aces, and Mark Lemon will be looking for some important points from him tonight.
Indeed he will. Young Tate, as you rightly say, is a very enthusiastic sort of guy to have around. And Dan Bewley, a laid-back character, but far from it when he's out on track. He is a spectacular rider, one of the finest riders in the world of Speedway right now. And Belle Vue, I must say, he is a genuine legend here already.
Absolutely. At number 4, we've got Zach Cook, young Australian. It's his first year here at Belle Vue, but he knows the fastest way around here. He's sort of small stature, lightweight, very, very fast around here.
Yeah, it was last month, wasn't he? He really came on strong, and he can be very valuable in the middle order. Now, Jaimon is my man to watch for the Belle Vue Aces this evening. He wasn't here when we saw that wonderful match against the Ipswich Witches, and he could prove to be the difference tonight. There's no doubt the Australian, if he really is in the mood, he can beat anybody. So Lidsey looking for a really big performance here this evening.
And number 2 for the Belle Vue Aces, the 21-year-old German rider, Norick Blödorn. It's his 4th season here with the Aces, slowly improved year on year. And Mark Lemon will want a solid night from him tonight.
He will indeed. Just won the German Championship very recently, so the 2nd time he's done that. He'll be full of confidence, and this man is certainly full of confidence. Brady Kurtz is having an exceptional season, lies in 2nd place in the World Championship. What a week ahead, in truth, for Brady Kurtz. But he's ridden beautifully for the Aces. He leads the way, and he captains the teams. So the champions at home here in the National Speedway Stadium, and wonderful reception for the riders as they come round on the parade lap. Healthy crowd, fabulous atmosphere. This is what the playoffs are all about. And guess what? We're in September and it's not raining in Manchester. How about that? So for the moment, let's get back down to Abbey. What a night ahead.
Ahead. Well, the hashtag tonight is Bellips. So any questions you got for Scotty or the guys in comms as well, just use that hashtag. I'll ask them later on in the programme. When we come back here in Manchester, we'll be on with the action. We are joined by Mark Lemon, the team boss of the Belle Vue Aces. Lemo, it's a big week, it's a big night, but when we look at playoffs, you've got two big guns in Brady Kurtz and Dan Bewley, and they're fighting for the silverware in the World Championship and the final rounds this weekend. How do you manage that as a team manager?
Well, like you said, it's a big week for Belle Vue Speedway, and obviously we've got some big guns in Brady and Dan that you know, definitely got a lot riding on this championship in Voyens on the weekend. So there's different mindsets going on, you know, probably for everybody here at the club. But how we manage it, they're pros. They know what they're doing. We just follow our normal processes, and I don't think we can look too far past this evening. I'm sure they got their preparations in the background building up to the weekend, and like I said, they're pros and they've got it sorted.
Do you even talk about it, Lemo, or is it really just tonight's action?
Yeah, I tell them everything. That's why they're so successful. No, I wish. No, I think, yeah, of course you talk about it. You know, you can't ignore the fact there's a lot riding on this weekend. You know, Brady's in a position that, you know, every rider dreams of. And then obviously Dan's going for a bronze medal as well. So nothing to shy away from. But, you know, yeah, we talk. You know, obviously we travel together to meetings. So there's downtime there to have those conversations, and you know when to be quiet and when to shut up, and when to have those conversations that you need to. But really, you know, today's all about the process. We've gone through it week in, week out. It's a big playoff semi-final against, you know, one of the, if not the best team in the league. So, you know, it's just got to make sure we do our basics really good tonight. Yeah,
and it's a tasty encounter this evening.
It sure is. Yeah, you know, credit dues. Ipswich has definitely had the edge on us. Yeah, I think probably we look back to 2023 when we probably should have won, when we lost Charles Wright through injury, but the regulations changed now, and we could have got a facility that particular. Well, now you can get a facility, but you know, there's no facilities. Yeah. It's all out on the table for both teams to you know, go for it. So it'll be interesting. These boys are pretty confident now. We've had some good meetings building up towards the end of the season. You know, our younger team riders have kind of just, you know, coming to the fore. So hopefully they can continue that.
Good luck tonight, Mark.
All right, thanks.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. This is it then. It is Premiership Speedway playoffs. It's the first leg of semi-final one, and it's between the defending champion, the Belle Vue Aces, and the table toppers, Ipswich Witches. Your commentators tonight, Ollie Allen first, Calvin Tatum.
So here we go. Thank you very much, Abby. First race in the first semi-final here tonight in the National Speedway Stadium. Belle Vue Aces have won the title twice in the last 3 years. Sandwiched between those two titles was the Sheffield Tigers, who actually created history that particular season. It was the first time they'd won at the senior, at the highest level. The Aces, of course, had to be very patient before they won their first championship in some considerable time, but they are determined to try and hang on to it. But by golly, they're in for a fight, because the Ipswich Witches are many people's favourites to pick up the title in 2025. Ollie, your thoughts on the evening?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think Ipswich have been favourites all season long. As Ritchie Hawkins said before the meeting, they have had a little dip mid-season. They've had some injuries and some niggles, but they performed very well here at the National Speedway Stadium the last time they were here. So they'll be confident going into tonight.
So here we go, riders arriving at Tate's for the first race. We're looking at the back of Emil Sayfutdinov. For a long period he rode at number 5. As I said previously, Ritchie Hawkins has changed the racing order for them. Sayfutdinov riding at number 1 now. Line up for the first race of the evening. Danny King off the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Gate number 2 in blue is Norick Blödorn. Emil Sayfutdinov out of gate 3 in white, and Brady Kurtz will start from the outside gate in in the red helmet colour. Kurtz, who has been in sparkling form throughout the season, has won 4 Grand Prix in a row, has a date with destiny this weekend, of course. Final round of the World Championship in Voyant. What a conclusion it will be, just the 3 points between the top 2 in the world. What is it going to get up to tonight? The Belle Vue Aces want to get off to a fast start, I'm sure. Tate up, and away we go. Fantastic start from Kurtz. Absolutely flew away from the outside gate. Not easy in the first race, but he made light of it. He's hit the front. Got to say that Danny King has moved into second place with Emil Sayfutdinov in fourth. Blödorn got some sort of mechanical issue, but I've got to say the Australian, the captain of the Aces, what a smashing start that was.
Yeah, fantastic start there from gate 4. Not easy in heat 1. We all know how important it is to ride around the inside in that first race, so to get across the other 3 riders was really important, and Brady Kurtz, as we expected, looks really good out in front.
Kurtz looking accomplished. He knows on the first race that the fastest way is quite possibly the shortest way. None of the 3 riders in contention here have moved away from the inside line. It's going to be a shared heat with the mechanical issues to the German Blödorn, who's pulled up on the centre green. And as we enter the final turn on the final lap of heat number 1, Kurtz gets off to a winning start for the Belle Vue Aces. But the minor places are packed in by King and Sayfutdinov. So 3 points apiece to start the evening off, the first leg of the first semi-final. Of course, we've got the second semi-final next week between the Leicester Lions and the Sheffield Tigers. I'm sure that's going to be just as thrilling. But tonight, Brady Kurtz gets off to a winning start. 3 points for him. Danny King into second place. 2 points, 1 point for Emil Sayfutdinov. And unfortunately for Norick Blödorn, he had some sort of mechanical issue and packed up early on. Let's take a look at it. Smashing start. This was a brilliant start.
Yeah, Brady Kurtz in the red helmet from gate 4 makes a fantastic start. The bike really hooked up all the way to the first corner, just how you want it to. And he managed to shut the door on the other 3 riders, and from then on, he just slowly stretched his lead. And Danny King and Emil are no slouches around here. But Brady Kurtz looking really confident and yeah, flying out in front. Excellent
Pretty much
start.
what you expect to see is what he's been doing over the last couple of seasons.
Absolutely, yeah. Full of confidence at the moment, as we've seen in the Grand Prix, and really business as usual for Brady Kurtz.
He sets the tone for the evening for the Belle Vue Aces, gets off to a flying start with a smashing start from the outside. When you consider he had Emil Sayfutdinov right alongside him, he made light of that. Riders being released for heat number 2. On paper, and I say on paper, I've got to say the Ipswich Witches potentially look a little stronger in heat number 2. But with Zischke and Mulford off gates 1 and 3, they'll be hoping that they can take advantage of that. But Adam Ellis, former British champion, 29 years old now, but Ellis at reserve, well, that could just prove to be a bit of a trump card.
Yeah, you certainly like to think so. If you're Ritchie Hawkins, you're banking on Adam Ellis to score some big points for you tonight and at Ipswich on Thursday, and he'll certainly fancy his chances here in well, what is the weakest heat of the night, I suppose. So Adam Ellis, if you're going to win one, now's the time.
Have to agree with that. Adam's got some significant strapping to his left knee. He injured himself a few weeks ago back in Poland, but he has been racing. But he did say that it was more challenging for the smaller tracks. On the bigger tracks out on the continent, and here again this evening, he didn't seem to think it was going to be presenting him with too many issues. Jason Edwards making his way forward now to the tapes for the second race of the evening. Heat number 2, the lineup for you. Tate Zischke, the Australian, on the inside in the red helmet colour. Adam Ellis, he's British, but he lives in France. He comes out of gate number 2 in white. Gate 3 in blue is Jake Mulford, and Jason Edwards will start from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. These points are from heat number 2, just as important as heat number 1. Ritchie Hawkins looking on, just having a good, close, hard look at the programme. Jason Doyle ready to go for heat number 3, which we're not accustomed to seeing Jason coming out in heat 3. Normally he would come out in heat number 4, but the experienced Australian has been moved, and we'll see if that proves to be the right choice. Ellis, a lot of focus on Ellis, a lot of talk about Adam Ellis. Of course, won the British final here just a few years ago. Here we go, green light on, back for up, and away we go. Ellis is going to get there. rider, gate number 2. He fires himself to the front, coming round the outside in the yellow helmet cutter. Brilliant stuff from Jason Edwards. And look at this from the visitors. They've made light of gates 2 and 4. They've hit the front. And back in third place, we've got Tate Zischke with Mulford at the back. But what a start from Adam Ellis. We fancied him, and he's looking good here.
Yeah, excellent start from Adam Ellis from gate 2 there. As you said, we expected it. There's a little bit of pressure on his shoulders in this race. 3 points are expected from him. But Jason Edwards with an excellent first lap to creep round the outside of the Belle Vue boys. And the Ipswich riders now on a 5-1.
Looking good here. 3 all, of course, a shared race in heat number 1. Heat 2 looking very good with just over a lap to go for the Ipswich Witches. These points will be very valuable indeed. And Jason Edwards, as you rightly say, was outstanding to find the extra grip and speed through that first turn. And the Ipswich Witches, they land the first blow in heat number 2, picking up maximum points. And Ritchie Hawkins, still a stoic expression on his face, but internally I'm sure he's very pleased with the way heat 2 turned out. You can't get better than that. And they take the 4-point lead at this embryonic stage of this semi-final. Of course, no winners or losers tonight. It's only the midway point. 2-legged affair. Of course, we go to Vauxhall on Thursday for the return leg. But Adam Ellis, sharp away from the tapes. He wins comfortably out in front. 3 points for him. Jason Edwards coming through into second place, 2 points. 1 point for Tate Zischke in third. And Jake Mulford misses out in heat number 2. All about the first turn here, and the Ipswich Witches were up to it.
Yeah, Adam Ellis in the white helmet makes an excellent start. He's miles clear, has a little look over his shoulder. He keeps a fairly low line on the first corner, and Jason Edwards manages to pick up that speed around the outside. He gets in to that little bit of dirt on the outside and creeps around the outside of Zischke, gets into second place. Here we see again, you've got the Ipswich boys out on a 5-1. Adam Ellis looked really comfortable out in front, probably as expected. Jason Edwards, yeah, again, a little bit of trouble there going into turn 3. But Jason Edwards, he's a solid performer. He's very, very safe, very steady, doesn't make too many mistakes. And he looked good in second place there. Great result for the Ipswich Witches, and already with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, terrific result for the visitors in heat number 2. They'll be pleased with that, but there is a long way to go. A minimum of 30 races, of course, to decide who goes through to the grand final in a fortnight's time. So Jason Doyle makes his way out in heat number 3 for his first ride of the evening. Ritchie Hawkins just ringing the changings at tights, of course. Doyle, who was riding at number 1 for a long period of time for the Witches, has been dropped into the 3rd position, number 3 on his back. Sayfutdinov, of course, tops the averages. He rides at number 1. And Jaimon Lidsey, he's out here as well. He's a man that I suggest we keep an eye on, because he wasn't here in that stunning meeting that we witnessed last month, and it went down to a super heat. And both men to watch are actually out in heat number 3, with Dan Thompson coming forward as well, who has been promoted into the main body of the team. So an interesting race in more than one way here. All sorts of stories going on. But right now, the bottom line is, while we're waiting for the 3rd rider to turn up, who's coming round? It looks like it's Jaimon Lidsey, because Zach Cook is already at tapes for the Belle Vue Aces. But it's 8 points for the Ipswich Witches and 4 points for the Belle Vue Aces. Line up heat number 3. We've got Jason Doyle on the inside in the white helmet colour. Zach Cook, gate number 2 in blue. Keep your eyes on Cook. He can fly around the National Speedway Stadium. Dan Thompson, gate number 3 in yellow, and Jaimon Lidsey, the lecture rival of Jaimon Lidsey, yes, on the outside in the red helmet colour. Good looking lineup here, Ollie.
Yeah, very good looking lineup. Lidsey is going to, I think he'll fancy his chances here from gate 4. Doyle's on 1, but it's certainly not out of his reach. He's an excellent trapper. Yeah, 3 Australians and a British rider here. So Dan Thompson feeling a little bit outnumbered, I think, on the start line. Here we go then, heat number 3. Green light comes on. Plates are up. Doyle missed it. Just had a little bit of a nervous twitch. Doyle, though, roars into the first turn, takes care of Zach Cook. Zach Cook trying to respond. Cook's done remarkably well to get back round the outside of the former world champion. But look at Dan Thompson. Thompson trying to get up the inside. Nothing to choose between the first 2 out in front. Brilliant speed by Cook, coming back for more.
stunning lap and a half of Speedway there, Ollie.
Yeah, excellent first lap from Cook to get around the outside of Dan Thompson. Dan Thompson looks quick in second, though. He's not giving him any room to breathe. Doyle now moves up the inside of his teammate. He's going to take up the chase with Cook in front.
Yeah, Zach Cook just beginning to steal a march. Jason Doyle surging on the inside of Thompson, who has ridden strongly with the number 4 at his back. We were seeing him ride at reserve for so long, but the man at the back is Jaimon, and that's not where he wanted to be. But Zach Cook, just like he did last month, gets off to a winning start and showing a clean pair of heels. It was dramatic stuff early on. He had to work awfully hard for that win, particularly in the first 2 laps, with Dan Cook putting him under immense pressure. Initially Doyle, who was ruthless in the first turn, but Cook remained firm. He really did. And the 26-year-old Australian comes out on top. Smashing ride from him. 3 points for Cook out in front. And the crowd are on their feet. Brilliant stuff. Dan Thompson back in second place, 2 points. Jason Doyle, third place for him, 1 point. And Jaimon Lidsey misses out in heat number 3. Best race of the evening so far, without doubt. And the first couple of laps here, it really was quite a tear-up.
Yeah, if you keep your eye on Jason Doyle on the inside here and Cook in the blue helmet colour, Cook looks like he makes the best start, but Doyle's having absolutely none of it. He's got no intention of turning just yet, and he moves Cook over. But the reality is he pushes him out onto that sort of deeper outside line. Cook keeps it wound on and just cruises round the outside and gets in front. And then Dan Thompson, he dives up the inside of Doyle and Cook here. Coming off the 4th corner, he has a look up the inside of Cook. He's still pressuring him hard here. But in the end, Zach Cook was just too quick. Once the race settled down, he pulled further and further in the lead and really did look fast out in front. Great ride from Zach Cook.
So there we go, lovely ride for Zach Cook. Change already. We've got a reserve switch here in heat number 4. We've got Jake Mulford has been pulled out, and Tate Zischke is going to replace him, the young Australian. And Mark Lemon wasting no time at all to try and ring the changes. Still find themselves 4 points down as we go into heat number 4. And Zischke, who was threatening Jason Edwards in heat number 2, and quite possibly a little bit more competitive than Mulford. So Zischke in for Mulford in heat number 4. But Dan Bewley out for the first time this evening. On paper, he is the favourite for heat number 4. The big clash, of course, with Tom Brennan now, who has been riding at number 3. He rides at number 5 tonight. And this clash between Brennan and Bewley could be quite tasty indeed. So riders making their way forward. We're still waiting for young Dan Bewley to make his way round to the start. Just a last few minute adjustments to his rear chain, and he's now on his way. He's got plenty of time. There's just under a minute to go before he needs to be at the tapes, ready to go. No hurry for young Dan. Here he comes, Mark Lemon, who has, as I say, made that move very quickly here tonight. So the line-up heat 4, Jason Edwards comes out of gate number 1 in yellow, Tate Zischke, gate 2 in blue, Tom Brennan, gate 3 in white, and gate 4 in red is Dan Bewley. Now, Zischke will be trying to get the better of Jason Edwards, because Edwards did ride particularly well in the first corner, and Zischke will be a little frustrated with that. I'm sure he's looking to repay the compliment here.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be looking for payback here, and it's important that Aces fill those minor places.
Yeah, absolutely right. The team effort here tonight. Here we go then, heat 4. Takes up, away we go. Brennan's made a lovely start. Off the inside, I've got to say Jason Edwards is there, making Bewley work hard. Bewley around the outside. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning stuff from Dan Bewley. We see it time and time again where he's able to carry so much speed through the corners. But for the minor placings, it's looking good for Ipswich. Brennan on the inside, Edwards on the outside. Brennan coming back at Bewley. Zischke's at the back. Bewley looking good right now out in front.
Yeah, excellent first lap from Bewley to get round the outside of Jason Edwards and take the lead. He's now starting to stretch his lead a little bit in front, but Tom Brennan is looking dangerous in second place. But this is just what Ipswich want, another 3-3. They're keeping the lead on the night, and Ritchie Hawkins will be very happy with this.
Yep, Ipswich Richards will be more than happy with this, as well as Bewley's riding in front. I've got to say that Brennan and Jason Edwards coming to the party tonight, and is riding really quite well, and there's no doubt he's played his part here. But Bewley picks up a lovely win, just like Kurtz did in heat number 1. But for Ritchie Hawkins and the Ipswich Witches, they retain that 4-point advantage as we complete 4 races here in the National Speedway Stadium tonight. But Bewley, you can never count him out. Didn't quite get away as well as he would have liked, because Brennan made a good start away from gate number 3. But Bewley with a lovely move, as I said in commentary, he roared round the outside. Let's see the result. Yeah, Bewley picks up the 3 points. Lovely ride. Tom Brennan back in second place, 2 points, 1 point for Jason Edwards, who was right on the pace, actually. He was right there, and Tate Zischke just got a little detached and failed to score in heat number 4. So the move with the reserve didn't quite work out there for the Belle Vue Aces, but a strong start by the Ipswich Witches here this evening. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, if we keep an eye on Dan Bewley in the red helmet and Jason Edwards in the yellow helmet. Jason makes a great start from gate 1. You can see the front wheels in the air, bikes pulling all the way to the corner. And Jason Edwards doesn't make it easy for Dan. He moves out wide on the first bend. He knows Dan's there. But unfortunately, Dan's experience and speed round here pay dividends, and he gets out in front. And once Dan Bewley hits the front, we know the score. Not many people overtake him. But I think Ritchie Hawkins will be really impressed with Jason Edwards' speed. He didn't lose ground on Brennan or
no,
Bewley.
right on it.
Yeah, it really looked really good, and that's encouraging.
It will be. They'll be pleased to see that. Both of their reserves going along quite nicely here this evening. And it's a strong start for the Ipswich Witches. OK, let's get down to Abby.
A big night, Emil, and a good start for the Witches.
Yeah, it's not bad. So, just still we try to push and be focused.
And they were missing you this time last year.
I don't think about that. I forget about it already. But so it's a new year, a new opportunity. So we try to get one.
Well, all the Witches fans are going to be so happy that you are part of this really strong 1-7. Go well tonight, Emil. Thank you for chatting. We're going to take a short break. Just a reminder of that hashtag is BelleIps. Any questions to Scotty and the guys? Use that, and I'll ask it later on in the show when we come back. It will be Heat 5 here at the National Speedway Stadium. We're now joined by Dan Bewley. Dan, as a speedway rider, you're used to having to compete in different leagues and different nights, and it's so busy. But when you've got a week like this, and it's huge for Belle Vue, but huge for you individually at the weekend in Boynes as well, how do you manage that?
Yeah, just one race at a time, really. Have some fun. So, yeah, this is the kind of most important stage of a year. So, yeah, enjoy it.
Do you think about the weekend at this point, or is it about team riding tonight?
What's on the weekend? To be honest, not really. Yeah, really do a job, and that's let's try and make the final. So, but yeah, just take it one race at a time. You know, we got tonight, and we got Thursday. So, what a race ahead.
I mean, it's huge, and you've got to put, like, last night behind you, and obviously Brady is your teammate as well. There's so much that goes into speedway, but that sort of dynamic of having to compete team, individually, team again, and you'd be fighting for silverware across the board. It's got to be a lot. It's helpful that you've got your sort of character. Yeah,
it was pretty similar to team racing in the final last weekend. It felt the same. So,
yeah, of course.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it's just that speedway, I suppose, a little bit different. But, yeah, we'll race together tonight, and then we go to Boynes, and I guess it's a little bit different. But at the same time, it's 4 laps, 4 guys. So we all want to win, and it's all the same.
And you were brilliant the last time you met Ipswich here at the Belle Vue, at the National Speedway Stadium. It was a tough night, but for you personally, it was outstanding.
Yeah, no, it's funny, like, people write us off, like, oh, we've got no chance against Ipswich, we'll get smoked at Ipswich, and I don't know, some of our boys haven't had the best nights. Me personally, I have been a bit average there too at Ipswich, but some of their boys hate this spot just as much as some of ours. So no, I think we can put a good result in, and to be honest, there's no reason why we can't put a better result than we have in the past at Ipswich.
Yeah. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium after 4 heats. It is 10:14, so it's been a strong start for the Witches. Rugby season is back, and we're kicking off the campaign Friday with the story of the summer as Newcastle, now backed by the financial might of Red Bull, take on Harlequins in the opening round of the Premiership Rugby Cup. Join us from 7 p.m. on TNT Sports 1 and Discovery Plus. But here in Manchester is now time for Heat 5, and Emil Sayfutdinov, who I was speaking to, is back out in this one. Over to you guys in the commentary box.
Yes, thank you very much, Abby. Yeah, Emil went out for his second ride. He didn't make a particularly good start, actually. He just missed it in the opening race of the evening. Gate number 3, where Brady Kurtz made a spectacular start. He'll be looking to put that right here, because he's actually got gate 4 in heat number 5. Emil Lidsey is out for his second ride. He'll be hoping to improve as he failed to score in his first ride. He's off the inside gate. Finally balanced here at the National Speedway Stadium, but Ipswich Witches right now are doing exactly what is necessary. I will say that they have raced each other 6 times this season, and the Ipswich Witches have had the better of the encounters. They have managed to come out on top on 5 occasions, so it is a big night for Mark Lemon and his men, no doubt about that. But in the playoffs, we have seen on numerous occasions anything can happen. Line up for heat number 5. Here we go. Jaimon Lidsey on the inside in the red helmet colour. Danny King out of gate number 2 in yellow. Zach Cook, what a race he had first time out, very fast. Gate number 3 in blue, and Emil Sayfutdinov, who can also be very fast. He will start from the outside gate in the white helmet colour. Another good lineup here, but Zach Cook for the home team, he is a dangerous man. If he gets away, he's a hard man to pick back.
Absolutely, very, very fast here at the National Speedway Stadium. And Emil, it's really important he beats him to the first corner.
You think so?
I know so.
Absolutely, I like your confidence, love it. Here we go. That's what we want to hear at the playoffs, that confidence, absolutely. And these riders are full of confidence, I must say. This is a time of year as a rider, Ollie, you want to turn up and really put your best foot forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you don't want to let your team down. And you also want to play a significant role in the success if you go all the way.
Yep. Who doesn't want to be a hero?
I haven't met one yet. I haven't met somebody yet who doesn't want to be a hero. Here we go, heat number 5. Back on with the action here in the National Speedway Stadium. Tate up. Away we go. Kurtz made a lovely start out of gate number 3. Sayfutdinov missed out. He's having a chop back to the inside. Lidsey's certainly woken up. He's made a lovely start. And look at the Aces. The fans are on their feet. They've fired themselves to the front. This is exactly what the home team needs. This will square it all up. 2 Australians to the home team out in front. Now Sayfutdinov moving into 3rd place. But I tell you what, he's got a lot of work to do because the Aces have flown on the first lap and a half.
Yeah, typical fast start from Lidsey from the inside gate. But Zach Cook in 2nd place, he's got so much speed no matter where he puts his bike. You can see there, he's so fast. And he's now waiting for his teammate. And the Belle Vue boys are stretching their lead. And you'd have to say, this pairing looks really strong now.
Sayfutdinov off the pace. Danny King has come through into third place. And both of the Ipswich witches in heat number 5, well off the pace. The two Australians, Zach Cook and Jaimon Lidsey, absolutely Jeffrey fans on their feet. And it's all square now in the first leg of the semi-final in the playoffs. And the champions are fighting back in heat number 5. It's what they needed to do. And it's 15 points apiece now. And all of a sudden, the home team just in the engine room there with Lidsey and Cook. It's a good-looking pairing. Lidsey, of course, not here last month. And as they come round on their celebration lap, look at the reaction. This means a lot. They love their speedway here up in Manchester. And Cook and Lidsey duly deliver. Cook out in front, wins for the second time this evening, 3 points for him. Lidsey back in second place, 2 points. Emil Sayfutdinov finally getting through into third place, but was off the pace, 1 point for him, and Danny King fails to score in a dominant performance by the Belle Vue Aces in heat number 5.
Yeah, Jaimon Lidsey in the red helmet makes a brilliant start from gate 1, perfect technique. But Cook's there as well, Danny King in the yellow helmet, he's in the mix, but Zach Cook, so much speed. Jaimon Lidsey controlling the first bend here at the moment. Cook heads wide onto that outside line, and he just, once he starts building momentum, he just pulls further and further away from the Ipswich boys. Excellent start from Lidsey, as we expect from him. He is a good trapper, but Cook looks so quick in front, no matter where he puts the bike on the track, inside, outside, loads of speed.
What do you put it down to?
I think he's about 10 kilos less than the rest of them, that'll help.
Yeah, he is a small man, but he's got a big heart, does Zach Cook. And as I say, he is unbeaten so far. And the Belle Vue Aces have battled back now, and it's all square. They did allow the Ipswich Witches to roar away in the first half of the meeting here last month in the B fixture in the season prior to the playoffs. They had a 14-point lead, the Ipswich Witches, and the Aces battled all the way back, and they took it to a superheat where they just lost out in what was a wonderful night of Speedway. I'm sure we're in for something quite similar here tonight, but right now, after 5 races, there is nothing to choose between the two sides here this evening. Riders coming forward now for heat number 6. Some good-looking lineup once again. Brady Kurtz out for his second ride this evening. So the lineup for heat number 6, we've got Tom Brennan. He will start from the inside in the white helmet colour. Brady Kurtz, the captain of the Aces, in the red helmet colour. Gate 2 right alongside him. Adam Ellis, he had a nice win in heat number 2. He'll come out of gate 3 in yellow. And Norick Blödorn, he will start from gate number 4 in blue. Now Blödorn clearly had some sort of issue with his motorbike in the first race. He'll be looking to improve upon that now. But Brady Kurtz, if he gets away, I would suggest the Witches will be looking to pack in for second and third.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing for the Ipswich Witches. If they can just keep drawing every heat, they'll be more than happy with that. What they don't want is Belle Vue stretching the lead.
Agreed. They've been very strong at home against the Belle Vue Aces, the Ipswich Witches, this season. So a lot of people talking around the paddock prior to the meeting, well, the Aces have got to have a minimum double-figure lead, 12, 14 points. And I've got to say I agree with that, because so far this season, excuse me, the Belle Vue Aces haven't been quite at their best when they've gone to Vauxhall Heath. Here we go. Right now, it's all square. Heat number 6. Here we go. Green light is on. Tate up sharply. There we go. Kurtz has made a lovely start from gate number 2. He gets the better of Brennan. Brennan follows him through right round the inside. Coming through into third place is Adam Ellis, but it's tied down the back straight. Norick Blödorn trying to get through into third place, but Adam Ellis holds firm. Kurtz, no real surprise to see him hit the front, but the Ipswich Witches, well, damage limitation, this is exactly what they need to be doing.
Yeah, as you said before the race, Kelvin, they want to fill those minor places. Brady Kurtz looking really fast in front. The Ipswich boys might as well leave him to it and hold on to second and third, keep the scores level and keep the overall score level on the night.
Indeed, it's going to be 18 points apiece because it's going to be a shared race here. Adam Ellis is actually looking really quite fast here in heat number 6. Tom Brennan struggling to keep pace with him, and we've got Norick Blödorn is at the back. Brady Kurtz absolutely flying away. Breathtaking speedway again from the Australian. Superb away from gate 2, and 4 immaculate laps. Coming out of the last corner, got tight. I know if Brennan had a problem, but Adam Ellis was certainly looking after his teammate coming out of the final corner. But in the end, it was a shared race, and the 3 points are shared. Brady Kurtz stunning once again in a class of his own in heat number 6, with Adam Ellis and Tom Brennan coming through in 2nd and 3rd. Brady, of course, hugely popular here, and rightly so. So we're looking. Brady Kurtz coming out of the last corner. Here we see the run to the line. It was slightly strange conclusion. Looked like Adam Ellis. Oh my goodness, very difficult to choose whether Tom Brennan or Adam Ellis actually came through in 2nd place. Ellis was certainly slowing down, trying to allow Brennan to come around the outside. Bottom line is, it was a shared race. Tom Brennan did get 2nd place. Brady Kurtz, 3 points for him. Comfortable out in front. Brennan through into 2nd place, 2 points, 1 point for Adam Ellis in 3rd. And Norick Blödorn misses out again and remains pointless after 2 outings so far this evening. 18 points apiece.
Yeah, Brady Kurtz in the red helmet, almost as expected, makes a rapid start from gate 2. He clears off in front. And at this point, Brennan's close to him this first lap. But as the race goes on and Brady settles into that outside line that he loves to use here, he just stretches further and further in front. And as you said during the race, Kelvin, Adam looks really good. Adam Ellis in 3rd place. He soon makes ground on Tom Brennan. And to be honest, for the rest of the race, he's really nursing him home. You can see here he's looking over his shoulder. He's waiting for his teammate. Intelligent ride from Adam Ellis, but Tom Brennan might be a little bit concerned that he's down on speed at the moment.
So I agree with that, yeah. And I think that Emil Sayfutdinov also was that lack of pace in his 2nd outing, so there'll be a little bit of soul-searching going on in the paddock for the Ipswich Witches, but still, nonetheless, they will be the happier of the 2 teams at this stage. 4 of the boys just having a bit of a chat. Brady Kurtz, who is unbeaten so far this evening for the Belle Vue Aces, just relaying a little bit of information, but Zach Cook probably is giving him information, because Zach Cook is quite possibly the fastest man on the show. In number 7, riders on their way round to the start line here for number 7. Bewley out for the 2nd time, so is Doyle. And Bewley, who was like Kurtz once he hits the front, very tough man to peg back. But he's got 2 riders in the Ipswich Witches who were very determined and pretty much on the pace in their first outing. Line up for heat number 7. We've got Dan Bewley. He's on the inside in the red helmet colour. Jason Doyle out of gate 2 in white. Tate Zischke will start from gate 3 in the blue helmet colour, and Dan Thompson starting from the outside in yellow. Dan Bewley again is the favourite for the race, Ollie, but got to say, the Ipswich Witches, I'm sure, will be aware, and as long as they can get the better of Zischke, then job done, you would suggest.
Yeah, I think Ritchie Hawkins would be happy with that, another 3-3. I know a man that won't, and that's Jason Doyle. There's not a man out there that's more determined to win a race than him.
Right,
so
Ritchie Hawkins has given him instructions. Don't worry about Bewley. He let him go and pack him for 2nd place. That's gone straight out of the window.
Yeah, he didn't even hear him say it.
Went one in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Just a quick word about the start marshal this evening, Ron Shaw, who has been a wonderful servant to the Belle Vue Aces here. He retires at the end of the season, and Ron, who has been a tremendous supporter of the Speedway here. All the very best, Ron. Here we go. In number 7. Wow, that was a long pause. Remarkably long pause. Bewley is just about going to get there. Doyle has got right up the bank, and can he get the speed down the back straight? Not quite. Bewley chops his nose off. Now Doyle electing to go to the inside. That's very tight between Tate Zischke and Dan Thompson. My goodness, Thompson's done well to get up the inside of Tate Zischke, and the Ipswich Witches are doing what they need to do. But Bewley out in front.
Yeah, fantastic first lap from Dan Bewley, showing all of his home track knowledge. Looking him out in front of that outside line. Looks absolutely fantastic in front. You are looking at a rider who's at the very top of his game, really relaxed. Zischke up the inside now of Thompson. He moves into third place. Thompson now dives back up the inside.
What a race for second, third and fourth rather. Bewley, such an eye-catching rider. Tate Zischke and Dan Thompson, my goodness gracious me, that is so close. A heat advantage on the cards for the Belle Vue Aces. Doyle is comfortable in second place. Bewley is beautiful out in front. But I tell you what, Tate Zischke, wow, he has ridden his heart out there to come through into a very valuable third place. And for the first time this evening, the Belle Vue Aces take a slender lead. 22 points to 20. Bewley, fabulous out in front. But you cannot underestimate how important that third place is by Tate Zischke. He's had a tough start to the evening. Only had 1 point from his 2 outings. But the battle for third was actually the highlight of the race in the end. Bewley, lovely ride in front, 3 points for him. Jason Doyle in second place. Now these two really did put on the firework display, didn't they?
Tate Zischke
coming through into third place, 1 point for him. And Dan Thompson, as hard as he rode, deserved more than that. He failed to score in heat number 7. Smashing racing in heat number 7, and that's what playoff speedway is all about.
Yeah, if you watch the battle of the big guns on the first bend, gates 1 and 2, Bewley on the inside, Doyle off gate 2. Bewley sort of makes short work of Doyle on the first bend, then heads straight out to the outside. From then on, Bewley's just stretching his lead lap on lap. But the big battle here is for third place. At the moment, Thompson looks comfortable in third place, but we see Zischke in the blue helmet, goes in wide, cuts back, gets a great run up the inside of the back straight. Thompson at this point still comfortable in third place, but here we see Zischke on the inside, just creeps around the curb, and he's working the inside line here. Now this is the lap, I think. He coming off this bend, moves in front of Thompson. Thompson then tries to dive back up the inside. Zischke closed the door. Really good ride from Tate, and that's so important, that third place, it really is.
Terrific stuff, brave stuff as well. And a smashing speedway race, no doubt about it. Right, let's get some more reaction. Zach Cook is with Abby.
Yeah, we're joined by Zach, who's got so much speed tonight. It was the guys in the commentary, I think it was Ollie Allen, that said you've got speed on the inside, speed around the outside. What's it down to? You're obviously a very lightweight, featherweight rider, but looking good tonight, Zach.
Yeah, I guess that helps. But no, I got my bike working well around here. And so far, so good. I haven't had to make too many changes. And yeah, as I said, it's working inside and outside, and that's always good around here. Otherwise, you're pretty vulnerable.
It's 2 from 2, and look, we know you've got 2 of the best riders in the world, so the importance tonight was working as a unit, and you've now got your noses in front.
Yeah, it's sort of a bit of a slow start. We need to get a few more heat advantages in the second half of this meeting, because we obviously want to take a decent lead to Ipswich, but a few of the boys have had a couple of little problems, but hopefully they got them sorted, and yeah, we can finish off strong.
Thanks, Zach, for chatting to you. I know you're a man in demand. They want to speak to him here as well for the stadium fans and for the PA system, so we'll just get out of their way. But yeah, it is a tight meeting, but for these Aces fans, and they've come out tonight to support this club, they get their noses in front for the first time. When we come back, it'll be on with the action, that hashtag Bellips. And now it's the turn of Brady Kurtz, the skipper of the Belle Vue Aces. Brady, it's a massive week for you in Speedway, and I know there's going to be so much speculation at the weekend, so let's start now on a Monday night. How are you feeling ahead of Ipswich?
Good, I think. I'm trying to look at it the best way I can and not really worry too much. I think it's been such a good year for me so far, so I'm going to go there and just, as I always say, just try and enjoy it, and we'll see what happens.
And at this point, when you know that's looming at the weekend, how hard is it to put yourself into the focus? Now it's team riding. We'll think about the gold medal when we get to Denmark.
I'm sure I'll be fine today. When the helmet goes on, I won't be thinking about the weekend, that's for sure. So we got a big job on tonight. I think we're going to need all the boys firing, and Ipswich are tough customers.
Yeah. Mentioned it to Dan as well, is that swapping between individually competing against each other and then riding together, like Dan even mentioned. Let's be honest, at Watch Lab there was almost some team riding going on then as well. But that's also such an interesting dynamic in this sport, which makes it pretty special. I don't know how special that is for you.
Yeah, it's not really something that any other sport experiences quite like we do. I think, particularly with me and Dan, you know, we're rivals most weekends, and then we race together in every team as well. So it's definitely a weird kind of dynamic, but you know, that's the sport, and we've been doing it for a long time now, so it kind of just feels normal, I guess.
Well, tonight, aside, because it's a huge night for Belle Vue Aces, it's a massive weekend and we are all behind you. And I always try and remain impartial, but when you come up and you've had 4 consecutive wins, it's just been amazing, Brady.
Yeah, it's been a special year, no doubt, and yeah, 1 more to go. So let's try and make it 5, eh?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. It is playoffs. It is the first leg of semi-final 1 after 7 heats, just 2 points separating the side. The Belle Vue Aces just getting in front for the first time, Ritchie, but how would you summarise this first quarter of what's going to be between now and Thursday?
Steady for us, pretty steady. Yeah, we've had a lot of frills, filling in the minor places, but yeah, they got 1 back on us there. Heat 2 was good. This will be a big heat. I think this is a big heat for us now.
Emil and Tom Brennan just a little bit down on speed. Have the other guys been able to help them out? Anything that's been going around the pits, that information that's been shared?
Yeah, they're all working together now. I mean, we always spend a lot of time when we come here scratching our heads and trying to get it right. Yeah, I think Emil's struggled really for how good we know he can go round here. He's made a lot of changes, so hopefully that'll work for him and we'll see the best of him. But overall, yeah, I think Tom's done all right. Yeah, we're steady.
How are you feeling?
Good, yeah. We're in a good position really at the moment. We're just really important now, these last 7 heats.
Okay. Good luck for that. Thanks for chatting. Let's hear from Mark Lemon now. He's with Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Abba. I'm with Mark. Mark Ritchie there just said he feels that Ipswich, their performance a minute is steady. You've just took a 2-point lead. What are your thoughts on the night so far?
Well, considering last time Ipswich were here, we were 14 points down at this moment in time. So
happy bunny.
Well, I wouldn't say happy bunny, but obviously we have got off to a slowish start compared to our normal regular seasonal league performances. You know, but it's obviously a bit more moisture in the track tonight. Just catching the boys out a little bit, but I feel that we're just starting to get it dialed in now. So quite comfortable at this moment.
In what way has it caught the boys out, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, you walk the track and like you sort of obviously it's very atomic in the air, and then the seasons as such change a little bit. So, you know, we've had a really great summer, and so we've had a lot of dry conditions, and you know the track has gone slick, you know, and because it's been hard to get the water in. Where now it's quite easy to, so conditions do and track conditions do change. So it's just, and we haven't been here for 2 weeks, so it's just a little bit of a learning process again. But they're adapting, they're doing what they have to do. So it's the same for both teams, and so it's not an excuse. It's just haven't quite got it dialed in.
And it is a fine line, but getting that water balance right now, because as it's getting colder, the water starts to come up. But your boys are adjusting in. And going by my previous experiences with the Belle Vue boys, the second half of the meeting is when you really kick into gear.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the plan. So hopefully we can execute that and you know, give us a nice, healthy lead to take to Ipswich. But you know, I'm not going to be discredit Ipswich in any fashion or be you know, overconfident at this particular point, because we know how good they are. So we'll just keep focusing, we'll keep pushing, and yeah, I think the boys have got, there's a little bit of a steely stare in their eyes, which is good to see.
Well, it is from your point of view. I'll let you get back to him. Thanks, Mark. Abby, back to you.
Scotty, thank you. The TNT Sports will be broadcasting the World Athletics Championships for the very first time this week as the biggest track and field stars descend on Tokyo. So much to look forward to, including in the women's 800 metres, British stars Keely Hodgkinson and Georgia Hunter-Bell go head-to-head. Coverage starts midnight on Friday, live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. But let's get on with the racing here. Just 2 points separating the two sides, Ollie and Calv.
Yeah, nothing to choose between the two of them, and interesting listening to Mark Lemon that the track conditions are touch difference. It is quite a bit cooler here tonight than on our previous visits, and does feel like autumn is very much in the air, so track possibly a little different than they are normally accustomed to. As I say, we have had a lovely summer. Riders approaching the tapes for heat number 8. Line up for heat number 8, and Jake Mulford out for his second ride here. No points to his name so far. He's on the inside in the blue helmet colour. Jason Edwards has been going well this evening. Gate number 2 in yellow. Norick Blödorn has had an awful start to the night, has failed to score in his 2 outings. Gate number 3 in red. And Danny King has actually looked quite useful. He'll start from gate number 4 in the white helmet colour. Now, Ollie, got to say that the lineup here, Ipswich will be very keen to get a heat advantage. Their riders are looking good so far tonight.
Yeah, you'd have to say so at the moment. I think there's not a point to the Belle Vue boys' name in this race at the moment, so that will change. But yeah, like Ritchie Hawkins said, this race is really important.
Yeah, and now we've gone through the lineup. You can understand why. Danny King, of course, who won that British Championship way back in 2016 on a wet, blustery night here. And he rode out of his skin that particular night. He has been a real stalwart for the Ipswich Witches. Has been part and parcel of the side for some considerable time. He leads the way here. Heat number 8. The revs are up, safes are up, bit of nerves on the line. As I say, Jason Edwards has made a lovely start away from gate number 2. King is high and wide, coming through into second place and putting lots of pressure on Jason Edwards. Out in front is Norick and Blödorn. Blödorn now charges up the inside and Jake Mulford. Jake Mulford has responded beautifully. Both these riders have failed to score so far, and what a response from the Aces!
Yeah, excellent first lap from the Belle Vue Aces there. They both used that inside line on turn 3 and 4 to force the way up the inside of Jason Edwards. I certainly didn't see this result coming, and at the moment, Belle Vue will be very, very happy with another 5-1.
Indeed they will. Norick Blödorn. This is what we expect to see from him. He's had a really disappointing night so far, but he is flying out in front. Jake Mulford, who was replaced by Tate Zischke in heat number 4, he's had to be very patient. He's had a long time since heat number 2, but what a response from the Belle Vue Aces. They had a heat advantage in the previous race, and they pick up the maximum 5 points in heat number 8. Ritchie Hawkins was saying it was a really important race for the Ipswich Witches. Wow, what a response from the Aces. And they move on to a healthy lead now, 27 points to 21, 6 points out in front. Home crowd absolutely chuffed to bits with that, and rightly so. They must have been concerned when they were looking at their programmes prior to the race. Blödorn, the winner, 3 points for him. Jake Mulford back in second place, 2 points. Edwards, the fast starting Edwards, 1 point in third, but got beaten up at the conclusion of the first lap. And surprisingly, Danny King missed out in heat number 8. That really was a turn up for the books, but the home team, the champions, really putting their best foot forward here in heat 8.
Yeah, excellent first lap from the Belle Vue boys. If you look at the moment, Jason Edwards is in front, and he's looked fast all night, so I expected him to push on from there. He elects to run wide on the third and fourth bend, possibly a mistake after track grading, and the Belle Vue boys, they pounced on that mistake by him. It looks like after the track grade, the inside's a little bit better than that mid-track that Jason Edwards tried to use, and the Belle Vue boys used their home track advantage. And yeah, got out in front for the 5-1. Shock result really for me. I didn't see that coming. No, I didn't. And it's great news for Belle Vue.
Yeah, Jason Edwards will be kicking himself back in the pits after such a good start. just leaving the door open, coming off a turn number 4 in the opening lap. Maybe a bit of home track advantage just coming into play there in heat number 8, but bit of a turn up for the birds, but you can never count out the champions, and the Belle Vue Aces are a very proud Speedway club, and this is what they need to be doing. Mark Lemon saying they need a healthy lead going into Thursday night. Well, second half of the meeting, that's what they will be looking to produce. Heat number 9. 6 points in it now, 27 points to 21. Jaimon Lidsey back out here after a great bounce back in his last ride. The lineup, heat number 9, Zach Cook unbeaten so far. He starts from the inside gate in blue. Tom Brennan with a couple of second places this evening. Gate number 2 in white. Jaimon Lidsey, much better from him last time. Gate 3 in red, and Adam Ellis will start from the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. I tell you what, the timing for the Aces is spot on here. Lidsey and Cook actually joined up last time and produced a stunning 5-1. They'll be looking to do the same again.
Yeah, they did. They are a really solid pairing here at the Belle Vue Stadium, and they'll want you know, another heat advantage here for Belle Vue, and all of a sudden the tide has turned.
Yeah, absolutely. The momentum is with their home team. Strong start by the Ipswich Witches, but the Belle Vue Aces clearly didn't panic, and they have begun to turn and flex their muscles in the last couple of races with a heat advantage of 4-2 in heat number 7 and a very important 5-1 in heat number 8 that I don't think even the home crowd could really be that confident about seeing. But they produced it, and the Witches respond in heat number 9. Here we go then. Away we go. Fantastic start from Brennan. Brennan fires himself to the front, holds the inside, followed through by Zach Cook, up the inside, battle for third. Lidsey just managing to get round the outside of Adam Ellis. Ellis trying to get back up to join him. Right now it's a shared race. Super start from Brennan out of gate number 2, but I tell you what, he is going to have to ride the wheels of his bike, because Cook will come on strong in second.
Yeah, Tom Brennan, fantastic first lap, and like you said, he's going to have to push every lap in this race, because Zach Cook is fast behind him. But then, Cook's made a mistake. Brennan's using that inside line really well. He's stretched the lead now. Brennan looking excellent in front, and another result I didn't see coming.
This is a very good result for the Ipswich Witches. The pairing of the Australians for the home team have been rock solid this evening. Cook, of course, unbeaten coming into heat number 9. But Brennan produces a stunning ride when he really needed to. Tight at the end. Cook kept him honest throughout. Adam Ellis just missing out there, but a handy win for the Ipswich Witches there by Brennan, who hadn't won a race so far. Had been solid on 2 second places.
Yeah.
He's having a really good evening, and that was a really useful win at a crucial point of the first leg of the first semi-final. Tom Brennan, 3 points for him. Lovely ride. Zach Cook back in second place, beaten for the first time. 2 points for him. 1 point for Jaimon Lidsey in third place, and Adam Ellis will be frustrated to have missed out in heat number 9. But Tom Brennan, away from the gate number 2, very impressive here, and produced when he really needed to.
Yeah, he did indeed. Tom Brennan in the white helmet from gate 2 makes a fantastic start. He did what he knew where the danger was coming from. He got across Zach Cook going into the first bend and closed him off. And I think he knew he'd have to push himself for 4 laps to try and stay ahead of Cook. Cook looks fast tonight, but it really was a good ride from Tom Brennan. He was intelligent. He used that inside line. Zach tried a lap on the outside, and if anything, just lost ground. And yeah, I think Ritchie Hawkins and Ipswich will be very pleased with the 3-3 from that race, because that Belle Vue pairing looked very, very strong. Yeah,
they did. They were particularly strong in the previous outing, but Brennan with that sharp start lowered the colours of Zach Cook for the first time this evening. And that is no easy task, because the Australian really is a rocket around the National Speedway Stadium. So 6 points still in it, 30 points to 24. Home team looking to build upon the lead if they can. do believe Mark Lemon will be satisfied with a double-figure score. If he can get to 10 or 12, I sense that he will be reasonably happy about that. Brady Kurtz making his way round to the start for the third time this evening. He has had a couple of outings and he's won both of them. And Jason Doyle coming. Much improved ride by Jake Mulford, who's chatting with his team manager there. And he'll be very pleased with that after a disappointing start. What a way to bounce back. Line up for heat number 10. Norick Blödorn, who was much improved last time. He starts from the inside gate in the blue helmet colour. Dan Thompson out of gate number 2 in yellow. Brady Kurtz will start from gate 3 in red, and Jason Doyle will start from the outside gate in the white helmet colour. Now Kurtz has been immaculate this evening so far, but his starting is just out of the top drawer. He really very rarely misses a start. Not only does he do it here in the National Speedway Stadium, he's been doing it in the Grand Prix as well. Really is spectacular to watch.
Yeah, he is, and what's really key is that he does it when the pressure's on. You know, no matter what the situation, if anything, the higher the pressure, the faster his starts.
Yeah, and that's testament to him. He can remain cool, calm and collected under the intense pressure. And Playoff Speedway is exactly that. They master the halfway point of the first leg here in Manchester. And the home team have got their noses in front by 6 points. Riders coming forward now for heat number 10. Here we go then. Star Marshall is happy, moves away. Legs are up and the Tates are up. Brilliant start this time from Thompson. Doyle's there with him. Brady Kurtz with just commentator's curse there. He talked about how brilliant he was. Oh my goodness, Doyle! He had to squeeze in there. Going down the back straight, it was almost 3 abreast. Doyle now hits the front. Thompson through in the second place. Kurtz is going to have to work hard. He's back in third place right now, but Jason Doyle, stunning move. Here comes Kurtz through the second.
Yeah, Kurtz following Doyle's line on that outside to get around Thompson into second place. Kurtz is now setting out after Jason Doyle, trying that outside line. He's following Doyle at the moment, but there's so much roost coming off Doyle's back wheel, it's going to be hard to follow him. Kurtz now dives to the inside to try and make ground round there. It looks like Doyle stretching his lead. Excellent ride here from Jason Doyle.
This is a stunning performance from the former world champion at a vital point of the night. There's a heat advantage because Dan Thompson has battled hard to get the better of Norick Blödorn. And I tell you what, that's a vintage ride from Doyle. That really is. Hadn't won a race so far this evening, but by golly, he turned up in heat number 10. Brady Kurtz really laid it on the line, but just couldn't close the gap. And Doyle, just reminding everybody, he's quite a useful speedway rider.
Yep, he's not bad.
And as hard as Brady Kurtz, he's beaten for the first time this evening. And the lead is now cut down to 4 points, and the Ipswich Witches are battling hard here tonight. Doyle out in front, what a ride. Smashing 3 points for him, 2 points for Brady Kurtz. Dan Thompson with a very useful third place, 1 point in third, and Norick Blödorn misses out in heat number 10. Well, I tell you what, this Ipswich Witches team really are showing some character here because this was a tough race.
Yeah, if you watch, Dan Thompson makes a great start in the yellow helmet. He gets across Blödorn into the first bend. Doyle joins him. Doyle's got one thing on his mind. He's heading to that outside line, try and build his speed up. And we see Doyle from gate 4 here. He makes a good start. The main thing is he gets across Kurtz, closes him off. He now runs high to the outside line, out into the deeper dirt. More traction out there. Gets loads of speed down the back straight. Really brave first lap from Doyle. And then from then on, you're just waiting for Kurtz to make his move. It takes him a lap to get round Dan Thompson. When he does, he sets his sights on Doyle. But really, like you said, vintage ride from Jason Doyle. And yeah, just showing everyone that he is a former world champion and he can still produce the goods.
And why he was a former world champion. Smashing ride, terrific stuff. Superb speedway here in the National Speedway Stadium. Emil Sayfutdinov, he's made a few changes to his equipment. Hasn't been quite at his best so far. It's been a quiet evening for Sayfutdinov so far. Just a couple of points to his name. Now, this is quite a match-up, and I'm sure he's a proud man. He will want to produce something pretty spectacular. and he will need to, because he's coming up against Dan Bewley, that man, who is going along very nicely indeed. So terrific matchup once again. Playoff Speedway of the highest order here tonight. This could easily have been the final, actually, these two teams. It's not going to be, because it's the semi-final, but Sayfutdinov looking for better in heat number 11, that's for sure. Line up for heat number 11. Emil Sayfutdinov will start from the inside gate, white helmet colour. Dan Bewley's alongside him, gate 2 in red. Danny King out of gate 3 in yellow. Failed to score last time. He'll be frustrated about that. And Tate Zischke off the outside. He's in the blue helmet colour, gate number 4 for Tate. He's got a couple of points this evening. Mark Lemon in deep conversation. He would have wanted a bit more here this evening. Got to say, the Ipswich Witches are digging in here tonight in Manchester.
Yeah, they certainly are. They had a little bit of a blip. Races 5 through to 8, but they're fighting back, like you say, and they're reducing that deficit.
Yep, 4-point margin. It's Ritchie Hawkins, you would have to say, is the happier of the two team managers at this stage. Ipswich Witches have been very competitive, apart from one visit earlier this year, back in June. They got turned over pretty comprehensively by the Aces that night, but so far this evening they are battling really hard. Can the Aces bounce back now? Well, brilliant stuff from Bewley. He gets the better of Sayfutdinov. Sayfutdinov has got through into second place. He's nudged King out of the way, but Bewley absolutely nailed the start. Look at that. That is just stunning stuff from Bewley out in the dirt. Gotta say, he's going to be a very difficult man to pick back from there. An improvement from Sayfutdinov, but he did not get off gate number 1 at all. But this race is all about the fact that Ipswich Witches are piling in for second and third.
Yeah, fantastic start from Dan Bewley, and he's looking $1 million out in front. But I have to say, Emil Sayfutdinov looking much improved in this one. Whatever changes he's made has made a big difference, because he's actually closing the gap on Bewley. Brilliant ride from Emil.
Coming on strong, close right in, and that's not easily done round here, but look at Bewley now, sticking right out, stretches away, just pulls a wheelie down the back straight. Stunning speedway by two world-class riders out in front. Bewley comes through in flying colours. He's looking good this evening. He has maintained his unbeaten racing here this evening. 3 out of 3 for the man who lies in third place in the World Championship. And medal cards on Saturday, of course, in Vojens in Denmark for round number 10 of the World Championship. But tonight he remains unbeaten. But for the Ipswich Witches, they limit the damage. It's as you were after heat number 11, just the 4 points in it. Fans are pleased with the performance, of course they are, from Mr. Bewley. There's once again another lovely ride from him. Bewley 3 points in front. Emil Sayfutdinov coming through into second place, 2 points. 1 point for Danny King in third, and Tate Zischke misses out in heat number 11. Got to say, Bewley made a lovely start, but Sayfutdinov, well, I don't quite know what happened, but he didn't get away very well.
No, you can see he gets a lot of wheel spin compared to Bewley, and then the bike kind of snakes, gets out of shape and just loses traction really, whereas Dan Bewley's bike does the exact opposite of that and just gets loads of traction and drive on the way to the first corner. Bewley knows where the threat's coming from, so he opts to stay low on the first bend to stop that run from Emil. And from then, the first couple of laps, Bewley looked like he was stretching his lead, but as the race went on, Emil reeled him in a little bit, and it was good to see Emil looking back to his old self, and whatever changes he made, they certainly work, because he's looking a lot faster in that race.
Well, he will need that for, of course, the big clash in heat number 13. But for Dan Bewley, 3 outings, 3 wins. He's looking good this evening. OK, let's make our way down into the pits area and join Abby.
Yeah, we are joined by Jason. Jace, it was an important time to get a heat win. We're going to watch it back. 3 abreast down the back straight. A brave heat from you.
Yeah, that's playoffs. So, yeah, when I was in the dirt, it was OK. Obviously, when you're in front, you get wherever you want to go, free line. So it makes it a little bit easier. But when you got the fastest kid in the world at the moment behind you, you know you got to ride the race of your life, really, and the perfect line.
Wasn't much room there.
No, not enough, but just enough to get through. So lucky I'm a little bit skinnier.
I think Ollie Allen, I think both of them, Ollie and Calv, was like, that's vintage Doyle. That is why he's a former world champion.
Yeah, it's just show the young fellas how to still do it, like I said last time. But no, I feel all right when you're in front. We just it's a lot colder tonight, so the bikes are working a bit different to when we were here last, and it's catching up on us now. But we've got hopefully all talking. The boys are working well together, and we're going to get there.
Thank you for chatting, Doyle. Keep it going. Okay, time for a quick break. That hashtag tonight, Bellips. I've actually been looking online and you've been posting your questions to Scotty. Keep them coming. It is tight here at the National Speedway Stadium. As Doyle said, it's playoff speedway. It is the first leg of semi-final one in Premiership Speedway playoffs between the Aces and the Witches. There's 4 heat remaining of this first semi-final, and there's 4 points separating the two sides. It's a cold night tonight. Mark Lemon said earlier that the track conditions caught a lot of the guys out. Doyle there in the interview with me just saying that the bikes are working differently. So Scotty, let's get your take.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'm on that track right now, and Doyle rode a superb race right out high and wide here. And the tracks I've been at with the grades, I've been around with the Wonder Wheel, which kind of is really good at breaking those berms down and spreading the dirt across. But for the boys that then come out on the next race after, it can be a little bit of a headache, because kind of right out here is where Jason Doyle was. This is where all the kind of the deeper material is. You can see how much material there is, but where they've spread it and it's come back down, as a rider, when they go around, they're going to see all these dark bits of dirt and the darker shades. And they've brought it right down to try and cover that inside. Like you said, Abby, it's a cold night. The moisture will be coming up. So in this next race, a bit of loss, you're almost going to have to feel it. Out here is going to be the line, or right on that inside curb where the fresh sort of material is right around the inside. But the riders out front are going to have to kind of feel their way out and gradually just get a little bit wider and wider until that dirt line builds up, which it will, and it will be high and wide. There's plenty of grip coming into the corner, but as they come in really deep, you just got to be careful of a rider squaring the corner off, so coming in right on that inside line and kind of racing to meet you, almost like block passing you in the middle of the corner. So the track is holding up really good. The weather conditions do affect the way the bike performs, so jetting and all those things are going to be crucial, and it's going to be really important that the boys work and share all that information. So let's see what happens in the next few races.
Hi TNT Sports viewers, it's Ant Anstead here, and I'm about to embark on Season 2 Born Mechanic, which sees me buy, fix and flip a load of classic cars, hopefully making a profit, and putting that profit into the renovation of my parents' farmhouse. You can catch it on Quest and Discovery Plus. It's risky.
Thanks, Ant. Ahead of Season 2 launch on the 16th of September. Make sure to catch up on the stories so far. Season 1 of Ant Anstead Born Mechanic is available to stream now only on Discovery Plus. Heat 12 then. Ollie and Calv, over to you.
Thank you very much, and a crucial stage of the first leg, particularly for the home team. And we were just chatting while we were on the break, Ollie and I, and just saying that there was a couple of crucial races there by the Ipswich Witches, where all of a sudden, when that 5-1 in heat number 8, you could have seen the home team begin to really establish quite a significant lead in this tie, but it hasn't been the case. Emil Sayfutdinov having a close look at track conditions. He hasn't had the night he was hoping for, an improvement last time, but he will be looking to be in top form for heat number 13. The riders approaching the tapes for heat number 12. Adam Ellis was frustrated last time out. He'll be looking for better here. Line up for heat number 12. Adam Ellis on the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Jaimon Lidsey, gate number 2 in red. Jason Doyle, what a ride last time. He's out here again, gate 3 in white. And Jake Mulford, who surprised us all actually with a lovely ride in heat number 8. He will start heat number 12 from gate number 4 in the blue helmet colour. Doyle coming forward. Can he reproduce that sort of ride we saw just a few moments ago, in truth? Got to say, Brady Kurtz really did have to work hard, but could not catch Doyle. That was something pretty special. Can he repeat it now? Well, he'll be hoping so, won't he?
He will be indeed, yeah. Yeah, he'll want more of the same.
Gate 3. He'll be looking to try and make it from there. Adam Ellis, who looked really quite competitive earlier on, but just missed out last time, looking to bounce back here.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a better result here, and certainly be looking to beat Mulford.
35 points to 31. Big race here. Jaimon Lidsey with the responsibility for the Belle Vue Aces. Here we go. Lidsey's made a lovely start, but a better one from gate 3. Doyle's in the mood this evening, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely lovely start out of gate 3. Lidsey back in second. Adam Ellis into third place. Mulford at the back, but got to say, Jason Doyle riding superbly well. Lidsey trying hard in second place, but how about this? Jason Doyle on top form here tonight.
Yeah, Jason Doyle coming up with the goods when needed. Second race win on the trot, it looks like. Excellent start to beat Lidsey into the first corner. He started riding fairly tight for the first lap or two, and you can see him now moving wider and wider, as Scott Nichols predicted they might do. An excellent ride here from Jason Doyle out in front, and Adam Ellis.
Yeah, the lead's going to be reduced down to 2 points now. Doyle with one last look over his shoulder down the back straight on lap number 4, electing to go tight through the last corner. Intelligent ride from Doyle. out of the top drawer. He is doing his team a great service tonight, Doyle. It's been solid throughout the evening, and his last 2 outings really has turned on the style, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see him in Heat 15. His work is quite possibly not quite done here tonight in the National Speedway Stadium. Big result for Ipswich Riches once again. Doyle out in front, 3 points for him, 2 points for Lidsey in second. Handy point for Adam Ellis in third place, 1 point. Jake Mulford misses out in Heat 12. 2 points in it now, 37 points to 35. The Ipswich Riches hanging tough here tonight.
Yeah, Jason Doyle in the white helmet here makes a brilliant start for Gate 3. Gate 3 not renowned for being particularly good, but he makes a fantastic start to get across the front of Lidsey. And from there on, he just stretched his lead. Really showing all of his experience and having a great night here at Belle Vue. The battle at the back between the reserves, Adam Ellis, he looked comfortable in third place, and that meant a 4-2 for Ipswich.
Yep, as hard as Lidsey tried, he just could not find his way to the front, and Adam Ellis with a really handy third place there, no doubt about that. But here we go. This is some line-up here in heat number 13. It often is wherever we are in the country, but particularly this evening, this is truly an outstanding line-up. Ordinarily, you'd see Jason Doyle here, but Tom Brennan has been put to number 5. Kurtz, Bewley, Sayfutdinov and Brennan. Brennan, who certainly came good last time out, and he's had a pretty good night, young Tom Brennan. He's had a couple of second places and a win, so he's going along very nicely. And with just 2 points in it, there is no question that the pressure is on Bewley and Kurtz here.
Absolutely, it's time for the Belle Vue big guns to deliver. But like you said, Tom Brennan has looked good, and to beat Zach Gook in his last ride was a fantastic achievement and shows he's got the pace to mix it with the big boys tonight.
Indeed he has. Here we go. Bewley, who is unbeaten from his 3 rides this evening. Kurtz has only dropped a point. Ritchie Hawkins, he'll be, I would suggest if he gets a 3-all here, he'll be absolutely chuffed to bits. No doubt about that. Can Sayfutdinov come to the party? Heat number 13, what a lineup it is. Kurtz is on the inside in the red helmet colour. Emil Sayfutdinov, gate number 2 in white. Bewley will start from gate number 3 in blue. And Tom Brennan will start from gate number 4 in the yellow helmet colour. Brennan is a sharp starter, and he'll need one here up against Dan Bewley and Kurtz. We gave Kurtz the big build-up just prior to his last race, and he missed the start. Totally fluffed his lines, but he'll be looking to bounce back here in Heat 13.
Yeah, he will indeed. It's unusual for him to miss one, and he'll be looking, like you say, be looking to bounce back, and he'll fancy his chances here off gate 1.
Yeah, this is when Mark Lemon is going to be leaning on his top men, be keeping his fingers crossed that they can duly deliver here and just establish a healthier lead, because 2 points, you would suggest, is just not enough for the return leg on Thursday night in Ipswich. It's been a great night of Speedway, no doubt about that, but the Belle Vue Aces are looking for more. Here we go, heat number 13. Green light comes on. Away we go. Kurtz has made a lovely start. So is Bewley, but great stuff from Brennan. Emil Sayfutdinov squeezing through on the inside. Yet to Brennan. Brennan coming around the outside. Bewley even further. Oh my goodness gracious me. Look how wide they are. Here comes Sayfutdinov. Sayfutdinov coming through into second place. Kurtz is in front. Sayfutdinov is in the front. Kurtz has had to respond. Stunning Speedway with Bewley at the back.
Yeah, fantastic ride there from Emil to dive up the inside of Kurtz to put him under pressure. Bewley at the back now dives up the inside of Brennan. He lifts going into turn 2, goes even wider. Brennan cuts back. He's looking to cut him off on the back straight. Bewley back into third place. Kurtz looking good now in front. Excellent ride there from Bewley to overtake Brennan.
Kurtz is in front. Sayfutdinov hasn't thrown the towel in here, having to give it everything in second place. Bewley working overtime back in third, had to get the better of Brennan. We've got one last blast round this final corner, and Kurtz picks up a very handy win in heat number 13. Sayfutdinov back in second. A 4-2 to the home team. Far from disastrous, but I'm sure Mark Lemon would have preferred a 5-1. Of course they would have done, but the class there of Brennan and Sayfutdinov, they made Bewley have to work very, very hard for just 1 point. Terrific speedway in heat number 13. And the Belle Vue Aces coming out on top. Kurtz, 3 points for him, smashing ride. Emil Sayfutdinov, second place, but very quick in second place, 2 points for him, 1 point for Dan Bewley, who worked hard for that. And Tom Brennan didn't really deserve to miss out on the points there. He was very much in the thick of the action throughout, but a 4-2 to the home team, and they move on to 41 points.
Yeah, Kurtz makes a fantastic start from gate 1, but as does Brennan from gate 4. He gets across from gate 4, gets into that sort of second, third position there. Here he kind of gets swallowed up by the Belle Vue riders. Bewley working that high outside line. He gets round Brennan at the same time as Emil comes up the inside of him. Emil then tries to put a move on Kurtz. Kurtz stays wide, gets right back round the outside of him. Now if you keep your eye on Bewley and Brennan in the battling over that third place at the moment. Brennan's got it, but then Bewley lifts. That little lift there down the home straight sort of propelled him into third place. Brennan tries to cut back, but Bewley at this point has now got too much speed and momentum and gets into third place. Good ride there from Kurtz out in front. All 4 riders really. Great ride by all 4 of them, and none of them really deserve to be without a point.
No, smashing speedway as we always have here at the National Speedway Stadium, but the big guns going head-to-head in heat number 13, and the Belle Vue Aces just about coming out on top. But the second place by Sayfutdinov, just limiting the damage a touch, and the lead is just the 4 points as we go into the last 2 races here this evening. 2 very, very important races for the home team. They will be looking to try and oh my goodness, I've had a crash in the pits, and I'm obviously not getting on that well. But in number 14, Zach Cook's feeling a bit knocked about before he's even got through the pit gate. Oh well, there we go, a little bit clumsy. But Adam Ellis coming in here to replace Jason Edwards. Ritchie Hawkins making the changes, and he makes his way too. But let's just have a look at this clash as they roar out of the pits. And unfortunately, just Cook's bike didn't start up, Zischke's didn't either. And it was quite a clumsy moment for both of the Australians for the home team. So the line-up for heat 14, they've all made it there safely, thankfully. Dan Thompson is on the inside in the white helmet colour, takes Zischke out of gate number 2 in blue. Adam Ellis, the reserve replacement for Jason Edwards, he will start from gate number 3 in yellow, and Zach Cook, who got beaten for the first time last time out, he will start from gate number 4 in red. And this is another hugely important race in the context of this semi-final. And I'm speaking primarily about the Aces, Ollie, because they are going to need another heat advantage. They need 6, 8, 10 points if they can going to Vauxhall on Thursday.
Yeah, they are. They know they've got the big guns coming out in heat 15, but they really want a heat advantage here to try and boost that lead, I think.
Indeed they will. Ellis has the change, and Ellis, who has won a British Championship here, he got the better of Dan Bewley that night. It was a stunning evening for Adam, and arguably the highlight of his career, in truth. It was terrific. But Dan Thompson, who has been battling hard, riding at number 4 in the main body of the team, and he'll be looking to get away sharpish on the inside. Now, here we go, heat number 14. Green light comes on now. We're racing. Zach Cook's had a lovely start. Tell you what, Zach had a real clout from Thompson. Thompson really was ruthless in the first corner. He gets himself to the front. Cook has come through in the second place, diving up the inside of his teammate. Cook is a danger man for Dan Thompson. Cook at Ellis coming up the inside into third place. Thompson in front, but here comes Cook. Squares the corner off. Right now is a stunning ride. 3-0 on the cards, but Zach Cook flying again in front.
Yeah, once again, Zach Cook looking really fast. What a great cut back there on Thompson to dive into second place. But big battle at the back here between Zischke and Adam Ellis. They're going at it, hammer and tong. Ellis has already dived under Zischke once. Zischke's now trying to return the favour. Ellis holding on to third at the moment. He'll need to look out.
Got to say, Adam does look a little uncomfortable. He's looking around, but he's hanging on to that third place. This is a great response from Zach Cook. Can Zischke do anything about the Witches? He's not quite going to. So heat number 14 is all square. And I would suggest that, again, Ritchie Hawkins from the Witches will be the happier of the two managers as we go into the final race here tonight. The 4 points are retained, and as I said before the meeting started, a lot of people sensing that a double-figure advantage was necessary for the Belle Vue Aces. Hasn't quite transpired, but they still lead on the night. 3 points for Zach Cook, 2 points for Dan Thompson, 1 point for Adam Edison third, and Tate Zischke, as hard as he tried, missed out in heat number 14. 44 points to 40. We'll watch heat number 14 again.
Yeah, great start here from Dan Thompson. He gives Zischke a bit of a nudge into the first corner, moves him out of the way. Zach Cook, he cuts back off the first bend, moves up into second place, and Cook looks so fast. No matter where he puts his bike on the track, it's going forward so quickly. It goes wide into turn 2, cuts back, makes a long straight, dives up the inside of Thompson, really makes short work of him. Now at the back you see Ellis in third at the moment. Zischke now dives up the inside, tries to move past Adam. Adam holds onto it, and like you said, Adam didn't look comfortable in third place. He was fighting the bike. He possibly spent too much time worrying about where Zischke was instead of trying to go forward, I think.
Yep, he was just a bit concerned about where Tate Zischke was coming from, but he did manage to hang on to third place, and it was, as a consequence, another 3-all here, and Cook out in front. So there we go, 4 points in it. Abby's down in the pits.
I am down in the pits and I'm waiting patiently. Mark Lemon talking to Brady, Kurtz and Dan Bewley. No doubt that they will be going out in heat 15. I want to try and get a word with Brady. He said that the guys had to deliver tonight. They had to step up because, in his words, they'd been a little bit average and they needed everyone, a whole 1 to 7 effort. They have done that tonight, but the lead, while it's slender, oh, they're still really chatting about this programme. I want to just interrupt Mark Lemon and Brady. I want to remind Brady as well what Jason Doyle said last time we were here in August, where he said you have to keep the young kangaroo behind you, or something of those words. It's probably better mantra than that, but it was very funny. Yeah, they are deep in conversation. Oh, okay, it's brilliantly getting help from Phil Morrison. I really expect that. It's whether to take gates 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. They have got the choice for heat 15, so that's what the consideration is. Dan now having his say in the matter as well. They need, as you've heard the guys in the commentary, you've heard them say again and again how important it is to take as much of an advantage to Vauxhall. We've got Zach Cook joining the party too. I think we better leave them to it. What do you think they should take? Everyone at home, get on to X on Instagram, use that hashtag Bellets. We've got the big Heat 15 coming up next. Those guys are going to be in it, but what gates will they be starting from? One heat remaining here in the first leg of semi-final one between the Belle Vue Aces and the Ipswich Witches. Just 4 points separating the two sides. The National Speedway Stadium looking resplendent this evening. It's been producing some brilliant racing. The all-important Heat 15. Let's see what Mark Lemon has decided after all that deliberation. Over to Scott Nichols now with the managers.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. He certainly took his time, didn't he? We'll find out now what he's gone with. Mark, it started off the meeting, it was close. You then looked like there was a break where you were going to start to pull away, but didn't quite stretch the lead that I'm sure you would want to take into Heat 15.
Yeah, pretty obvious that was the case. Not ideal in a semi-final. You want to kind of keep building that momentum, but Ipswich are just throwing everything at us. So yeah, we've got a little bit to do to try and obviously take a lead. First and foremost down to Suffolk, but we've obviously got another challenging heat, and the gates really haven't. There hasn't been any particular gate tonight that's been sensational. So gate choices was quite hard to go with. But what we have done, we've gone with 1 and 3, and we've gone with Brady Kurtz in red and Dan Bewley of blue in gate 3.
I was going to say, I kind of was just looking through my own program, and it wasn't like there was a clear cut. Yeah, we've got to go 1 and 3 or whatever. So obviously, does that probably put a little bit more pressure on your two boys in Heat 15, knowing that there wasn't a clear gate advantage?
I think so. Like normally there's one trap that sort of goes off a little bit. So when you've got whoever the Ipswich Witches are going to put in, I'm sure they've got some quality up their sleeves. So it's going to be another tough encounter to go out there. But we've got the boys to do it. They have to do it. They've been doing it week in, week out this year. So we just need them to step up one more time.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Ritchie, like I just said to Mark there, it was very close. Belle Vue looked like they were going to stretch away, but you boys just kept packing in those minor places. Was that the goal? Was that the message you were pulling out to the boys?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with them after Heat 8, that was a bad result for us. And notoriously, we always fall away here in the second half of the meeting.
Yeah, it's Ryder Cup, because that was where you really felt Heat 8 could have been the bit where you had piled the pressure on.
Yeah, that's the one I really thought went the wrong way for us completely. But actually, the second half of the meeting, probably for the first time ever, we've pulled 2 points back, and we've actually been strong. So yeah, filling in them places, second and thirds, trying to keep out of last. And this is a big heat, though. I think either way, it's been a great battle between two very good teams, and it's going to be another one on Thursday.
It certainly will. You've got gates 2 and 4, so could you tell us which riders and where, please?
Well, surprisingly, we'll go for Jason and Emil, and it'll be in that order. So Jason will be off 2, Emil off 4.
Okay, mate, thank you. Well, best of luck, boys, and let's get on with Heat 15.
Scotty, thank you. Well, that second leg then, Ipswich versus Belle Vue at Vauxhall. That's this Thursday, TNT 1 at 7:30. The Grand Prix, can Brady Kurtz win a World Championship in his debut season? We're in Voyens in Denmark, Saturday, 5:30 on TNT 2. And then MotoGP is a Grand Prix of San Marino, and you can watch that Sunday, 12:15, also on TNT. Calv and Ollie, all the big hitters out in a big Heat 15.
What a way to conclude the night. Absolutely right, Abby. Has been a super night of Speedway. Mark Lemon will be absolutely desperate for his two men to come out on top here and leave with an 8-point advantage. Now, that would not be quite what they were looking for, but that's the best they can get here. And they've got the men to do it, Ollie, haven't they? A 5-1 here, and you suggest they've given themselves half a chance on Thursday.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they really do need a 5-1 here. We spoke about it a lot tonight, but Belle Vue, they don't historically go well at Ipswich, so they need the biggest lead possible. But if any two riders can get a 5-1, I think it's Bewley and Kurtz.
So pressure on the champions here. The championship, the trophy on the line, of course, for the Premiership in 2025. Belle Vue Aces have been outstanding in recent seasons. 2 championships in 3 years, just denied by the Sheffield Tigers back last year, in 2023, excuse me. But this is a crucial moment in the context of the semi-final. In number 15, Brady Kurtz is on the inside in the red helmet colour. Jason Doyle, who's ridden out of his skin tonight. Gate number 2 in white. Dan Bewley, gate 3 in blue. And Emil Sayfutdinov, probably not at his best tonight, but he's here in Heat 15, and he's the sort of man that can produce something pretty special when you really need it. What a line-up to conclude the night. Riders just doing a little bit of gardening. Mark Lemon, he will be very keen to see his men come out on top here. As I say, think 10 points probably was what a lot of people were talking about, maybe even more than that. And so this has got to be a moment when Bewley and Kurtz, second and third in the world. What a weekend ahead as well. What a week for these guys. Huge racing ahead. Can they produce it now? Delight the home crowd. They've done it on many occasions this season. This is a very, very pivotal moment for the first semi-final. Hey, number 15, here we go. Away we go. Into the first turn, it's tied between Kurtz and Doyle. Doyle trying to lean all over Kurtz. He just about gets his nose in front. Here comes Bewley down the outside. Bewley trying to charge deep into the first, third and fourth corner. Doyle just about got it covered. Bewley now fires up the inside. Bewley hits the front for the first time. Doyle trying to replay the comfort. That is spectacular from Dan Bewley. How on earth did he pull that off? Doyle's in second place, but look at Bewley go out in front.
Yeah, huge first lap there from Dan Bewley. Built his speed up on the outside, then switched back to the inside, dives up the inside of Doyle. He's now stretching his lead out in front. Doyle in second place. He's now coming under pressure from Brady Kurtz. Kurtz looking up the inside of Doyle. Fantastic race to finish the night.
Less than a lap to go. Dan Bewley's got it all sewn up out in front. Doyle under huge pressure from Brady Kurtz. What's going to happen coming into the final corner? Kurtz is on the fence. Doyle's up the inside. It's a 4-2. It's a 4-2 to the Belle Vue Aces. And the lead is 6 points going into the second leg on Thursday evening. A fabulous race to conclude the night, no doubt about that. Sayfutdinov just not at the races this evening, didn't land a blow. The pass from Bewley was just out of the top draw. How he pulled it off, I just don't know. And as hard as Kurtz tried, he just could not quite battle his way past. A vintage performance from Jason Doyle here this evening. Still delicately poised. 6 points advantage, but nonetheless a terrific night of speedway in its own right. Bewley, a lovely ride to win heat 15, 3 points for him. Jason Doyle, what a night and what a performance from Doyle this evening. 2 points in second place, 1 point for Brady Kurtz, and Emil Sayfutdinov misses out in heat number 15. Fantastic way to finish the night. 6 point advantage for the Aces. Let's watch it all again, Ollie, because I tell you what, Bewley just produced something pretty special here.
Yeah, he did indeed. Kurtz, it's the first bend is all about Kurtz and Doyle, really. Doyle in the white helmet, he's trying to close off Kurtz going into the first bend. Kurtz creeps around the curve, and he looks, at one point, he looks like he's going to take the lead. But out of shot here, you can't see, but Dan Bewley's building up his speed on the outside. Big battle there between the two Aussies on the inside. And now coming into shot in the blue helmet colour, you'll see Bewley on the outside. Keep your eye on Bewley here. The moment he's at the back here. Gets onto the back straight, loads of speed, loads of momentum. Goes wide into turn 3 and 4, out into that high line. He then cuts back. Doyle thinks he's on the outside. Bewley then dives up the inside, squares off the corner, blocks the run of Doyle, gets back out into the outside, and from then on, Bewley stretched his lead out in front and really did look very, very good. But Jason Doyle, fantastic effort from him tonight, really was. Like you said, vintage Jason Doyle, some really important points for him tonight.
Yeah, he's come good when he absolutely had to. He has been outstanding this evening. And as hard as Brady Kurtz, he threw the kitchen sink at Jason Doyle. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, we're going to go the cabin master rider of the night. I think we both agree is Jason Doyle, because he has ridden so very well this evening, and it really has been a terrific effort from him. 48 points to 42, a 6 point lead for the Belle Vue Aces as we head to the second leg at Ipswich on Thursday night. Abby, away you go.
Thank you, Cal. Well, just over my shoulder, you can see a team huddle with the Ipswich Witches. They have now just got a 6 point to defend when they go to Vauxhall, their home track, and they've been, well, it's been a fortress. Sheffield got the better of them last week, but Ritchie Hawkins very quick to say that needs to be put behind them. They've been excellent tonight. They've just packed in the minor places. Jason Doyle, who just walked past, as the guys in commentary have said, has been on absolute vintage form. The hashtag tonight is BelleIps. Any questions you've got for Scotty? We've got a bit of time. Get them onto Twitter or Instagram, and I'll make sure I'll ask Scotty those. And we'll have analysis, and we'll speak to as many of the riders as possible. See you after this. The first leg of semi-final one is done and dusted. The final score 48-42. So the Belle Vue Aces will be taking a 6 point lead to Thursday night's second semi-final, well, no, semi-final one, but the second leg of it at the Vauxhall Arena. Let's hear from a man who was in classic form tonight. Jason Doyle is with Scotty.
Thanks, Abby. I'm with Jason Doyle. Jason, you are the cabin master rider tonight. Phil Morris is going to hand you your award and your bottle of bubbly.
A bottle of bubbly, mate. Oh, thank you very much.
I'll drink on the way
You've
home.
won a fair bit in your time, but there's nothing more prestigious than the Cab Master Ride tonight. They said in commentary it's a vintage performance.
Vintage.
Not saying you're old, but, mate, you were certainly on it tonight.
I feel old, mate, when I'm riding against them boys. I'm hanging off.
Standing next to me, you feel a bit younger.
Yeah, I do feel a lot younger. But I think riding around here, mate, it's always an honour and a privilege. The track's always so nice, and the only problem is you're very vulnerable.
You are, but you had an exceptional night, mate. They're tough. Their top duo are exceptionally tough. Like you said yourself in the interview earlier, Brady Kurtz, arguably the fastest man in the world right now, and you topped him twice. That must be good for you.
Yeah, I'm probably about 10 years older than him. But no, Brady's riding amazing, mate. Obviously, 4 wins on the trot with the Grand Prix, and it's always going to be tough when we come to Belle Vue against Dan and Brady, and plus a few other boys like Zach Cook tonight was flying around here. So we can go back to our place now, rough and ready. We know that Ipswich track is going to be nice and gnarly for him, and let's play game.
It is, and like sort of obviously I've been watching the night, and obviously you had an exceptional night, but the rest of the boys were just solid. Kind of limit the last places. You can let Dan and Brady run away, and even Zach to a degree. So as a team, you did the job.
Yeah, that's right, Scotty. All year we've been having just steady performances. Everyone's pulling their weight. We've always had a good, strong reserve, and then the boys are banging in just equal 6-7 points, and just helps us top boys out when we have some bad nights. So what a team. We've got a really great atmosphere at Ipswich. The club's been amazing to us, and the boys are working really hard.
Heat 15 is always the big one. What were your thoughts in that one? Because you had to kind of muscle your way past Brady, but obviously you knew that Dan Bewley can see on the monitor that Dan was going to be winding up on the outside.
Yeah, my main job was to try to trap Brady on the inside, and I just got there, but he pushed me a little bit wide, and then you need to build up some speed the first lap, and it was not enough speed to get Dan to go underneath me, but I thought I'd pull back and drive underneath him going out of turns 2, but he just had the legs coming in the next one, and then it was see you later. He rides that fence and that wide line very well. He's a very brave boy.
But like you said yourself earlier, you can feel very vulnerable here, and it's such a wide track. Dan obviously went right to the inside, but it's when you're out front and you kind of can build a bit of a lead, build momentum, it's all right, but that first lap is crucial. Yeah,
definitely. I think if you don't make a good start, like you see with Emil, he's the fastest bloke as well around here, and gets stuck behind and just can't get that line where everyone's chasing, and that's the dirt line around here. And the last probably 13, 14, 15 heats, you're right on the fence, right on the airbags, and you just got to get them wheels in line and try to rail it around the corner.
Well, mate, well done on Cab Master Ride night. Thanks for chatting to us, mate. Best of luck Thursday. Abby, back to you.
Thank you. I was asking Zach if he could hear the interview. He couldn't, but Jason was saying that you were flying around this track tonight.
Yeah, I was happy with tonight personally. Had a lot of speed, and it always helps when you're behind. If you don't make the start, you can sort of read the race a bit better, and yeah, it makes life a lot easier.
He did then also said that him and the guys are going to make it gnarly for you on Thursday. Your thoughts on that?
Beautiful. No, we'll be right. Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to take a bit more of a lead down there, but yeah, a couple of boys struggled a bit tonight for us, which isn't ideal in a meeting like this, but it is what it is, and yeah, we'll just go again on Thursday.
How will you regroup from this now, Zach? Like you said, you probably wanted slightly more than 6, but how have you gone over in Vauxhall this season? What can you learn? What can you add to, because it's playoff, it all matters.
Yeah, personally, haven't been ideal there for me this year, but you know, we try again Thursday, but everyone's going to be working hard, I'm sure, and you know, we're just got to act as if it's level again, and yeah, don't get complacent, and yeah, put our best foot forward, and hopefully we can pull it off.
And what's the team spirit like amongst you all? Is Brady Kurtz, is Dan Bewley, of course they lead from the front when they're out on the track, but what's their presence like in the pits? Yeah, it's awesome, you know, anything you need, like questions, what they're thinking we've set up. Yeah, not only that, just riding lines, everything, they're there to help, and it's obviously good having 2 boys of that calibre in the team. It's a big help, especially for sort of us guys that's not quite at their level, but yeah, it's awesome. Your level's been getting better and better as the season's progressed. You've got to be happy with what it's been like for you in your first year here at Aces. Yeah, it's an awesome track to ride. It's a joy coming here every Monday. There's not many other places you'd rather turn up to, but it's been awesome. I've enjoyed it here this year, and yeah, it's been fun. Thoughts on the points then? You did say that you would prefer for it to be more, but do you think you can do it? I'd like to think so, yeah. We're going to go there with the attitude to win. Anything can happen, we know that, so
yeah, we'll be putting our best foot forward.
Zach, thank you for chatting always, and well done tonight. We're going to take our final break of this evening. That hashtag, final time that I will tell you, is Bellips. Make sure you get your questions now, because when we come back, I'll be asking Scotty them. At the halfway point of this semi-final playoff fixture between the Belle Vue Aces and the Ipswich Witches, it finishes 48-42. So Belle Vue just taking 6-point lead to Vauxhall on Thursday. Joined by Dan Bewley, and Dan, again, just a spectacular performance. Scotty was speaking to Jason Doyle just before the break, and he was like, "You are one brave rider."
Yeah, I don't know, he is too sometimes, but no, for me personally, it was, you know, a decent night, but yeah, we'll start on scratch on Thursday. We've got a big night ahead of us.
Would you have liked more points than 6?
Yeah, obviously, but yeah, if we're going to go there, might as well go there and make it happen.
Yeah. You said that you haven't gone as well as you'd like to at Vauxhall. How can you bring it all out for the semi-finals?
Just make some starts, and it's actually it's an annoying spot because I actually really love the spot. It's so fun to ride around there. Yeah, it's up there, one of the peak of riding, to be honest. But it's just not that fun when you're behind people. So yeah, make some starts, and but no, we'll see. Ipswich are a good team. Don't take anything for granted, but yeah, do our best, see where we end up.
Well, here at the National Speedway Stadium, it's a different ball game. Everyone's behind you, and we're going to look at Heat 15 because it was an incredible heat to watch. What was it like to ride in?
Yeah, I had a bit of fun. So yeah, it's all right. Just let the bike go and sat there. It's pretty easy.
Dan, you must like turn a switch when you get on the bike because off it you're so laid back, but this isn't laid back riding.
Oh, I was just laid back. It was pulling me, and it wasn't too much to it. Just chill and let it do the work and cruising.
Out really in the wide stuff and an incredible cut back and then just giving Doyle no chance.
Yeah, no, and then the last lap and a half I had to look around and I half tried to slow up, but yeah, it's pretty tough around here. It's so wide, but yeah, it didn't really work. But
you had 4 heat wins tonight overall, Dan. A brilliant performance, but you need the whole 1 to 7 to come out and really perform to get you into a grand final. You've got a title to defend.
Yeah, that's it, or a few of us to get 15, so either way. Yeah, we just need to be honest, just go there as a clean slate, just fresh start. Yeah. Points from today don't matter, just go there and try and win, so we'll see.
Dan, look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Well done tonight, and then we've got a big weekend as well for Dan, and he's got a bronze medal to get. You don't like to talk about it, but it's nearly yours.
Well, might as well. I mean, better payday getting further than 4th. So, no, to be honest, I really like the spot. I really like Voyens. It's like somewhat of a British track, like an older British track, Wolves sort of thing. So we'll go there, try and put a good performance on, and wouldn't mind a nice trophy. We'll see.
Good luck for that, Dan. Thanks for chatting. Okay, let's hear from Tom Brennan now. He's with Scott Nicholls.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'd love to see Dan excited. I can't imagine it, to be fair. But anyway, Abby was just talking to Dan Bewley. They had a great night tonight, and their big hitters kind of did what they needed to do, but they didn't get the back up, whereas the Witches were just solid all the way through.
Yeah, I think it was kind of 3-3 was kind of the story of the night, right? No, Dan and Brady are obviously very good, world class for a reason. It's a little bit of a shame that we couldn't kind of get closer to him. I think obviously Doyle was the only one to really split him, and also Emil. And I was kind of ashamed not to kind of get in front of them at one point tonight. But either way, they're good, very good. And we obviously have the 6-point kind of deficit now that we need to try and bring back. And we're trying as hard as we can.
Yeah, but you're at number 5, which is a tough spot. And we had Heat 9 earlier where you had a great performance. I think, you know, it's probably fair to say that you probably deserve more points from the way you rode. You can see at the monitor here, you just straightened the lead off gate 2 there, and Zach Cook at this point was unbeaten too.
Yeah, personally tonight it was a very difficult night. I mean, in terms of myself personally, I kind of feel like I know what I'm capable of, and tonight really wasn't that. And to be racing guys like Brady and Dan is kind of where I want to be, and to be on pace with them is kind of my goal. And tonight they were just better than me. So I need to really do some homework and understand what's going wrong. But yeah, this was a pretty good race. I mean, I'm kind of somewhat happy with that, and try and take the positives and try and fix the negatives.
Well, I think it's fair to say there's not many people. I mean, you've got a big lead on Zach Cook here, who, like I said, was unbeaten at that point, and even in commentary they just said that Zach pretty much wherever he put the bike just went. He's exceptionally light, but number 5, it's a tough number. You rode your socks off, and I don't think there's many people kind of beat Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz around here anyway.
No, but I would.
You still want it?
Yeah, I'd love to be that guy. You know, I mean, that's kind of where I obviously aim to be. I mean, we're obviously not trying to be a middle order rider, and like to be kind of put a number 5 is definitely a challenge. But I really feel like I'm up for the challenge, and tonight didn't quite prove that. But at the same time, I feel like we have another meeting to go, and we can show why we deserve the number 5 slot.
Yeah, definitely, but you've been put at number 5 for a reason. So how have you enjoyed it, Ipswich? There, obviously, you look to go there Thursday to get that place in the final.
Yeah, Ipswich has been really good this year. I mean, Chris and obviously Ritchie and everybody else involved has really made it feel like home, and I feel like I've been there for 5-6 seasons rather than 1. So really happy with that. Really happy to get the opportunity kind of to race at number 5 as well, because I believe that hopefully might be like a future building thing. So no, happy, and I mean, I really cannot fault everybody in the team tonight.
Definitely. Well, thanks a lot, mate. Good luck for Thursday. Abby, back to you.
Thank you.
Scotty, thank you. Well, just remind you of the time that you need to put in your diary. On Thursday, it is 7:30, TNT1, and it is the return leg. So we're at Vauxhall, Ipswich versus Belle Vue, and it's just 6 points separating the two sides. I'm joined Scotty now, I've got the hashtags. Here we go. Right, let me start right from the beginning. I took a lot of photos. It's just easier than trying to find it. Okay. Scott, this is from David Giles. Apart from a frame, maybe, do riders take spares for every component of the bike to the meetings?
Oh, good question, actually. I think everybody's quite different, but personally, I'll always have some spare clutch parts in the toolbox, a coil and ignition, because they can go easily and be replaced. Probably a lot of boys don't necessarily take frames and things with them because they've got the spare bike, so it's too time consuming to change that. So it'll be the obvious as clutch lever, handlebars, let's say ignition, spec tubes. Obviously it's notorious for people punching tubes during the meeting end when they're fitting the tyres at the beginning, and just feel a bit spokes, bits and pieces like that. But a lot of the time you've got the spare bikes, so it's either you jump on that or rob bits off that and then do it when you get back to the workshop.
We don't see the spare bikes quite so much as we do like in the Grand Prix when they're, you often see in graphics it's changing bikes, especially when things don't go wrong. We don't seem to see that change as much.
Good point, actually. I think in a league meet sometimes, because you've got the rest of the team, you've perhaps got that little bit of a comfort to maybe have another bad ride before you change, whereas a Grand Prix it's like if you have maximum 2 bad rides on a bike, you've got to change.
Yeah. Michael Pimer, I think it is. We mentioned earlier that Dan Bewley is already a legend at Belle Vue. I think it was Calv that said it. If you had to name one former rider from each team as legends, who instantly springs to mind? For Michael, it's Peter Craven and John Louis.
Oh, wow. God, there's a lot. Well, I mean, the Carlson boys at Wolverhampton, I mean, the Carlson Corridor was named after them, but Billy and Greg Hancock at Stoke and at Cradley Heath, Hans Nielsen at Oxford. My God, Tony
This has got you at the end of the night.
That has got me thinking. There's a lot of good riders, but no, and like you say right now, I mean, who I'm trying to think, Richard Lawson at Poole. I mean, he's been absolutely on fire. I mean, he's literally got nearly an 11-point average. That's bonkers.
Bonkers. I tell you who else was bonkers tonight. It's Jason Doyle. There's a lot of love on X for him. Fair play. This is from Martin Coleman to Jason Doyle tonight. A really great interview with you as well, Scotty. Just looked like he was enjoying himself out there.
Oh, and you've got to, haven't you? And I mean, what he's been through, I mean, I'd take my hat off to him. You know, he's not a spring chicken, and to go through the injuries he's been through and still ride with the grit and determination that he does, full credit to him. And when you have nights like tonight and you see the enjoyment on his face, then it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, when you thought, you know, the dislocation of hip and then he did it twice.
Don't even think about it.
Obviously, the most chat is about 6 points. Is that enough for Belle Vue going to Vauxhall?
I don't think so, personally.
Yeah.
Just on their previous visits and how good Ipswich are at home and how much they're going to be up for this, because they've come so close so many times, they've had so many injuries. They'll be determined to get into that final and go all the way. But they lost to Sheffield, who have also been very poor at Ipswich. So it's a mindset, you know. Mark Lemon, as he said earlier, it doesn't, but I think now he's going to have to use that as a motivation. He's going to have to say that to the boys. But on the flip side, I know Ipswich are probably a bit too lax that night. Took it for granted at Sheffield, so that's probably a shot in the arm to them.
Yes.
So, look, this sport is all about the psychology, isn't it? And you've got to flip a negative to a positive and not be complacent. And right now, everything has to step up. And it's tricky because people say, just, you know, don't do things differently. Keep what's working, keep doing it. But when a title is on the line, it's very difficult.
Emil Sayfutdinov is one of those people that's wanting to turn a negative. He wasn't hugely negative, but he wasn't the Sayfutdinov that we're used to seeing here tonight.
No, he wasn't, and his bike wasn't reacting from the start. You know, you watch all the races, the initial jump, it wasn't there, and the boys had their head start. He'll know maybe there's changes to make, but tonight's done. Ipswich is a different ball game. It's his home track. He hasn't been the Emil we saw last year, but it's down to the semi-finals. I know he'll deliver.
Who will be the happier of the two managers? Ritchie?
I think it's going to be Ritchie, but who knows? That's Speedway. A lot of the commentary boys saying tonight didn't expect that to happen, so who knows?
Well, we've got it all to look forward to on Thursday. It's the first semi-final. At the moment, Belle Vue have a 6-point advantage. Is that enough in the fortress that is the Vauxhall Stadium? See you on Thursday.